How's it going, folks? Welcome to another fun at-home table read. Tonight we're doing another unmade movie, a sequel to, my favorite Batman movie, Batman Returns. But it is continuing with Selina Kyle's story in Catwoman. This was originally written in 1995 by Daniel Waters. I cannot wait to see what this one's going to be. So let's jump right into introducing ourselves. I'm Logan. I'm going to be doing action description.
I'm Chelsea. I will be Selina Kyle.
I'm Travis playing Double L Lewis Lane.
I'm George and I'll be Brock.
I'm Anne and I'll be Spooky.
I'm Angi and I'll be Cactus.
Right. Well, away we go. Catwoman by Daniel Waters. In complete darkness, a cat is heard moaning, at first gently, then unbearably. Exterior, a snowy patch of Gotham City night. Coming out of the darkness, the viewer's viewpoint glides across a moonlit blanket of snow towards the cry of a wounded feline. A black cat is revealed twitching on its back in the expanse of white. The viewer hangs over her only briefly before drifting forward. Like mismatched carpet samples, the patch of glowing snow cuts neatly, absurdly at a patch of sun-scorched desert. Exterior, the desert day. Easing all the way into the daylit desert, one catches sight of a lizard and globs onto the creature's frenetic path, moving faster and faster across the patch land, until, zap, the lizard kamikazes into a grand electrified barricade. Viewer's viewpoint arches over the fence, way, way into the air to take in the spectacular view of the sparkling Oasisburg, a gorgeous urban island in a sea of dirt and sand. Major Emerald City vibes. As the viewer circles the city, day turns to night, light blasts on everywhere, and the voice of Selina Kyle insinuates onto the soundtrack.
I do not know how I came to live in Oasisburg. No one ever does. But then I have forgotten what is, and more to the point, whatever was.
The viewer's viewpoint whooshes down into the city to squeamishly embrace its majestic tackiness. As frightening as it sounds, the city is a crazed amalgamation of LA, Vegas, Palm Springs, and Disneyland. Garish billboards shriek simple messages like relax and be happy. People putter about not in cars, but in adorable golf cart vehicles. The viewer takes a dazzling plow down into the painful neon of the city's main street towards an awesome edifice at the end. A casino and more, to end all casinos and more. A colossal sign proclaims it Frank's Fun Palace.
The most hot and top tourist spot in the world. A place like all places, only more so. Was I, Selina Kyle, having fun with the fun of Oasisburg? The answer is no.
The whooshing airborne tour of Oasisburg, Selina's narration, and whatever holy music is bellowing on the soundtrack all come to a dead halt outside a lit-up room at the end of a bland office building. Interior, the stark room of blandness, night. Beneath a flickering fluorescent, a group of unhappy women sit slumped in a circle of uncomfortable chairs. Not very spectacular. Heading the group, in infinitely more upbeat dress and demeanor, as if on a first date, is the ultra-perky demon, Dr. Penelope Snuggle.
We did it. We've won. Over the last years, there have been super changes for women, and we should be pleased as, I dare say it, punch. Hand it back. Proceed to pat. There are limits, though. And Barbara, if you try starting your own business, you'll probably fail. I say that in the nicest way possible. Who's next?
Hi, I'm Mona, and I'm a victim.
Hi,
Hi, Mona.
My husband tried putting styrofoam down the garbage disposal. I told him he shouldn't do that. He just started screaming at me.
I have one word for you, Mona. Shh. It's better for a woman's soul to take pain than to give it out. Now, have we all finished my new book?
Penelope holds a hardcover with a lame drawing of Catwoman, The Catwoman Complex by Dr. Penelope Snuggle.
The Catwoman complex, of course, refers to the fabled Catwoman. We all know the tale, pardon the pun, a couple of years back in where else but that gloomy heckhole Gotham City, A woman all done up as a black cat was supposedly cited committing various acts of terrorism. Whether or not she actually existed, this Catwoman has much to teach us. That the pursuit of power turns women into monsters, and very unhappy monsters at that. Women, stop trying to be Catwoman and start being women. Who's next?
A short, sweet pan is made from the sad woman to the completely bent-over woman beside her. She raises her hand. It is the woman we know to be Selina Kyle. She's been through hell. With all her energy, she aches her voice into a barely audible melancholy rasp.
Hello, I'm Selina Kyle,
Hi,
Hi,
Selena.
Hi,
Selena.
Selena.
and I'm a victim. I mean, that's what they tell me. I was brought into an emergency room in that aforementioned hellhole, Gotham City. Scars, bruises, and bullet holes all over my body. Most interesting thing that's ever happened to me, and I remember nothing. Nothing. My mother brought me back here to Oasisburg to relax and be happy, just like the billboards say, but it's hard.
Selina is rudely cut off by a melancholic chime sonic booming across the city. All the women except Selina do a giddy Pavlovian leap from their chairs and race to the window.
It's the call for the cult of good.
Be still, my heart.
Through the ladies' POV, criminal activity is in progress down below. Exterior Main Street Town Square night. An army of men in zebra-striped shirts and black berets hustle out of the gaping, smoking hole in the face of a bank. They race to a line of getaway golf carts. Their eye-patched leader shouts at the melancholic chiming. "Hurry, men! Those silly superheroes are coming!" One golf cart zips down an alley while another rumbles away down Main Street. Suddenly, a vast but sleek van plows forth, knocking the latter golf cart out of frame like a toy. Pouring out of the casino, Hard Rock Amusement Center, and putt-putt course on the block comes an overwhelming assortment of delirious, fun, wardrobed tourists and citizens. They encircle the crime scene as if it were an impromptu street carnival. They chant, "Cult of good, cult of good," but the crooks are too freaked out to move. Interior, the unspectacular room. The women's group is drawn to the excitement of the crowd below. A squeaky-voiced sweetheart named Didi swings from the window to tug at the slumped on a chair friend, Selina.
Selina, you're missing all the heroics. Hurry!
Do I have to?
Exterior, town square of Main Street. The back door of the van Sesame's open. A toll booth-sized behemoth is the first to emerge with a sunglass halo wrapped over his eyes around his hairless head. Like his forthcoming partners, he wears red boots, a red cape, and a chest plate with a Cult of Good insignia. He is Mammoth. A young boy wearing a t-shirt with Mammoth's image on it raises his fist into the air. Mammoth! Next out of the van is the Cape Boots chestplate ensemble is Spooky. Lithe and limber and Asian, Spooky wears a red hood around the head with enough of the face exposed to give off a definite whiff of androgyny. The crowd makes an ooh noise. A TV reporter cuts in.
As you all know, the crowd's not booing. They're just shouting the name of the next cult of good crime fighter, Spooky.
Preening out of the next van, with perfect blonde hair and a silk eye mask, barely impinging his beautiful face, is Adonis. He has an adorably boyish jetpack on his back. The women in the crowd openly lose it, exploding into tearful, sweat-stroked Beatlemania wails. Sometimes I think they love me as much as I do. Interior, the unspectacular room night. The women at the window follow suit.
Oh, Adonis, it's Adonis, my favorite, my Adonis.
So perfect, so beautiful. So, did I say perfect?
Selina wearies up an eye roll at her drooling groupmates. Exterior, town square, the main street. Next out of the van, like a rock star taking a stage with a very prickly head of hair, strange goggles, and a ratty leather jacket beneath cape, is the raucously cocky Cactus. Cactus has only one good arm. His other arm is a piece of machinery resembling a small cannon.
You folks want to see a little morality tonight? Yeah, I can't hear you.
The crowd goes crazier. A pack of worshipful would-be punks in imitation jackets and goggles high-five each other.
Yes, Cactus is raw.
The group settles into complete silence. The army of robbers are more paralyzed than ever by baffled fear. Interior Frank's Fun Palace. Casino customers stop playing and drift to a big screen TV. Interior, the unspectacular room night. The women lean their foreheads on the window. Even Selina is intrigued. Exterior town square of Main Street.
I don't need to introduce the last man out of the van, the leader of the cult of good, our own personal savior, Captain God.
In spectacular slow motion and an overwhelming, all-encompassing, yet elegant and uncumbersome helmet comes the charismatic Captain God. His voice goes through a crackling scrambler box in his helmet that makes his voice sound like the ultimate stiff straight out of a white B-movie male authority figure of all time. Unholstering a very cool console, he remotes off the melodic chime.
There is the law, and there is the justice. There is the
No.
There is the dam. There is the Danish, and there's the English muffin. In between, there's only I.
There is the law, and there is justice. There is the river, and there is the dam. There is the Danish, and there is the English muffin. In between, there is only I.
The move to tears mob thunders up with sanctimonious cheers.
Captain God rules. God is good.
The superhero team ossify together into a perfect pose. Flashbulbs explode all over them as the tourists fire their cameras. Breaking from the paralysis, one of the ticked-off robbers pulls out a gun.
Is this a joke?
The robber fires his gun right at the unblinking Mammoth, who's merely holding up his hand. The TV reporter cuts before the image.
Looks like this is one hooligan who forgot Mammoth's invisible shield made from a new, remarkably clear form of plexiglass created in the lab of the Cult of Good's secret hideout.
Four bad guys converge on Spooky, who raises up a white fist-sized box and politely addresses it.
Spear.
Extending out of the box like a pulled-out antenna is a formidable makeshift spear. With jaw-dropping dexterity, Spooky spins and swirls the weapon, battering away the knives at the hapless attackers. Yawning, the superhero sternum pokes the first attacker to the ground. And then one vicious helicopter gesture, Spooky cracks the back of one attacker's neck while crunching the jaw of another. Without even turning to face him, Spooky over the shoulder flaps back the spear down atop the attacker's skull, pounding him into the ground. Captain God fires a flame from the fingertip of a power glove he wears at a line of getaway golf carts. One by one, they explode into flames. The Eyepatched leader uses the fireworks as the opportunity to flee through the awed crowd. Interior, the unspectacular room. Selina cringes away from the explosion sounds, holding her ears. Her group buddies continue to cheerlead. Selina rushes off. Exterior, town square and Main Street. A flaming crook is pulled down across the frame by a runaway golf cart. Cactus booms.
What a drag!
Well done, Cactus.
Two superheroes burst into laughter at their matching quips. Captain God turns to the viewer.
In all seriousness, that one was for little Billy. He's the real hero.
Interior, a hospital room night. Family, friends, doctors, media, and a priest gloriously pat little Billy, who's in a body cast, autographed by the cult, beaming up to Captain God on the hospital screen. Exterior, town square on Main Street. Gun emptying, the gun-toting bank robber's entire face contorts into smushed agony, seemingly all by itself. Mammoth is revealed to be slamming him with his clear shield. As the robber crumbles to the ground before him, the young boy bobs up from his toy.
Just like the Game Boy.
Mammoth slams the two oncoming desperados' heads together, crunching open their motorcycle helmets. He then roars to wildly applauding crowd. They toss peanuts, which he devours out of the air.
Oh, I wish they wouldn't feed him like that.
Now he'll be up all night.
Interior, a dingy stairwell. As terrifying cheers and explosions reverberate all around her, a dizzy Selina lowers herself onto the stairwell, trying to keep it together. Regaining composure, she wobbles up. Exterior, town square on Main Street. Two surrendering criminals stand one behind the other as Cactus approaches.
We give up. Please don't destroy us.
Cactus twists a harpoon onto his non-arm. The back-surrendering criminal reaches for a gun stuck in the back pan of the front guy. Cactus fires his harpoon.
Did somebody say 2-for-1 sale?
The harpoon sails right at the single-file criminals. Interior Frank's Fun Palace night. Instead of seeing the potentially yucky result, the viewer is given the deft sight of a toothpick impaled through 2 olives dropping into a martini, which is handed to the stern but smug mayor of Oasisburg by the smug but smug Fun Palace owner, Frank. Now, Mr. Mayor, a show like this is good for business.
Never has safety been so sexy and so exciting. I love my town.
Exterior town square on Main Street. Like the pretty boy poster boy he is, Adonis has completely removed himself from the action to autograph magazines and other memorabilia with his face on it. He is planted in an uncomfortably deep kiss on a barely teenage girl when he is tapped by Captain God's mighty finger.
Hey, hot stuff. You're still on the clock.
Oh, sorry, sir. The cult is my life, and my life is the cult. By God, Captain, I shall not fail you. Adonis squeezes the handle that blasts on his jetpack. He canaverals up, arcing mightily into the air, and he twists past the towering buildings and the lit-up room of the women's group. He gives them a thumbs up. They squeal in pleasure, Penelope almost fainting. Back down at the square with a rebel yell, the pack of robbers rush a very calm Captain God. He presses up his belt buckle, causing an absolutely blinding flash. The robbers cower into incapacitated wobbles. Captain God strafes through them, effortlessly pummeling each into the ground. Cactus joins Captain for the stomping fun. Tourists delightedly camcorder the action. The viewer briefly gets the video POV. Cactus takes a camera from a family.
Go on, get yourself a piece.
Cactus proceeds to film the tourist family giddily booting and flailing the robber. Burrowing through the crowd, Selina can't help but gape at the horrifying sight. Cactus swings the camera towards her.
Come on, babe, get in there. Be a crime fighter for a day.
Selina backs away and rushes off. Exterior Oasisburg. Adonis looks down to see the getaway golf cart thrashing down a back alley. Adonis presses a button on his jetpack and a silver ball drops out. Exterior of the alley. The steel ball thuds atop the golf cart, immediately outbreaking a billowing pink gas. The robbers immediately keel out of the crashing cart, and a homeless person also thuds into a heap. So does a poor cat. So do some falling birds. So do some flowers. Some flowers growing on a windowsill. Exterior of the Oasisburg sky. Adonis laughs down at the cloud of harm. Breathing's a bitch. He rockets past a billboard, shining out, "You're on vacation. Justice is not." Exterior town square on Main Street. A desperate hoodlum makes a break for it. Cactus raises his cannon arm, putting in a small missile. He takes aim on a screeching away hoodlum. Captain God cuts in front.
Cactus, shooting a man in the back is not very noble.
That is not a man, Captain God. That is vomit accidentally born with 2 legs.
Well, I stand corrected.
Captain God takes a royal step back. Cactus fires his arm. Exterior dark Oasisburg street off the square. The running away hoodlum goes up in a purty puff of smoke as the background of a walking forward, shuddering with her head down, Selina Kyle. Suddenly, the eye-patched leader scurries out before Selina. He goes deer in headlights pose before continuing his escape. Selina re-trembles forward. The viewer notices a bulky, hunched-over figure on a rickety scooter puttering behind the faded heroine. Exterior town square on Main Street. Cactus turns from the blazing in the distance hoodlum.
That's gotta hurt.
A patch of the crowd wearing "That's Gotta Hurt" t-shirts give cheering thumbs-up signs. Cactus high-fives them with his smoking cannon arm. A squad of happily ineffectual police roll up in a siren golf cart to pile up on the aching criminals. One suddenly leaps from the heap, lighting up a Molotov cocktail. He sprints towards a massive store selling every kind of Cult of God merchandise. Adonis whooshes in on a landing, pointing and squealing. Captain God, he's going for the superhero superstore. Exterior, the alley off the square. Selina spins around. Behind her, a withered but strangely pleasant hunched-over Mexican woman with severe dark eyebrows rests upon an idling scooter.
You again. I told you to stop following me. I've had enough in my life. I don't need some hag. Get out of...
Selina is silenced as the flash hits her eyes, caused by the moonlight hitting something around the still smiling hag's neck. A key. Exterior town square of Main Street. The final robber heaves back his to throw his explosive at the store, the cult of goodies.
Crime does not pay, etc.
Captain God raises up a remote and presses a button. 2 laser beams eke from the eyes of 2 marble lions on each side of the store's doors. The beams zap halt the final robber at an upright, quivering standstill. The crime fighters approach, all extending their index fingers, seemingly in order to tap him to the ground. At the last sec, 5 superheroes lower their fingers and punch out with their other arms, sending the poor guy flying. The men go back into their trademark heroic pose. Flashbulbs recommence. Exterior, the alley out from the square. Shaking off the obnoxious cheers from the crowd, Selina clacks forward. The sound of the scooter again coughs up. Again. Selina wheels around.
I said...
Selina stops herself. The hag on the scooter is gone. The only thing behind Selina is a beautiful, black, stoic cat. It blinks. Exterior, the flashback of the snowy patch of Gotham City, night. Again, the viewer glides over the familiar carpet of snow towards the black cat wailing on her back. The Mexican hag is revealed to be the owner of the POV, standing compassionately over the damaged feline. Interior, a 2-girlish bedroom morning. Selina awakes in a proverbial feverish sweat, zapped by bright morning rays. She quivers into the upright position on a flowery bed. The entire room is in fact quite suffocating in its preserved girlishness. She drowses up to a dresser. Atop the dresser is a sterling array of china and crystal figurines, all depicting pirouetting ballerinas. They all seem to be staring at the ingrateful for the attention Selina. With her finger, she topples one over. She then gives a downhearted stare at the framed photograph of herself as a girl in a ballerina dress, arm in arm with her beautiful mother. The door opens. Selina's still beautiful but severe mother makes a live appearance.
You're late.
Yes, mother dear.
Mom closes the door, then opens it again. She firmly resets the toppled ballerina, then recloses the door. Interior kitchen morning. In pretty much deathly silence, Selina sits across from her mother, who reads a newspaper with the Cult of Good Saves Another Day headline, at the kitchen table. Selina looks down at the world's smallest muffin on a plate before her.
A hearty breakfast is the start of a great morning.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, you're on a diet. The fact that you're still reasonably pretty is the one thing you've got going for you.
Oh, Mommy, you're embarrassing me.
Is every single thing out of your mouth since your accident have to be a monotone mumble of cheap sarcasm?
Maybe.
It's funny. I've heard of giving up finding a man and raising a family to pursue a career. And I've heard of forgoing a career to start a family. But I think you're onto something new, Selina. Absolutely nothing has a ring to it. I think it could catch on. How's that for sarcasm?
Pretty good. Mom, I don't want you to think I don't appreciate letting me stay, getting me the job. I've been a mess. I'm still a mess. It's just we have to start having a different conversation. I cannot take...
Mom turns on the TV set on the kitchen table. Selina is miffed at the interruption, but lets it go. On screen, Captain God press conferences in his comically powerful voice.
Every day I put on my helmet is a day I may die. We've all seen what has happened recently to superheroes in other cities. It is a dangerous job, but I am proud to wear body armor, so you don't have to.
Thank you, God. That's all for you, Cult of Good. You meant to do us proud.
The mayor rips down a sheet, revealing a statue of the superheroes artistically dangling in a spiraling totem with a helmeted captain at its top. Jaw-droppingly phallic, don't you know? Selina pulls the plug on the TV.
I'll take your abuse, but it's way too early for the sanctimonious cult of gag.
Oh, so now even the keepers of the city don't meet your standards. You're late.
Mom exhales out of the room. Also drearily rising, Selina throws her uneaten muffin into the sink. She yanks up a Venetian and recoils against the table. Through the glass, at the back of the golf course green backyard, is a grotesque hut. Even more disturbing, the old Mexican hag wobbles before the creepy domicile, stoking a fire.
Mom?
Interior hallway morning. Selina flutters around a corner, ready to recall out. She catches sight of her mother doing an eerie, not unsexy body undulation in the hallway mirror. Noticing Selina, she stiffens around.
Don't sneak up on me.
It's just that woman out there, that horrible hag. She's the one who keeps following me on her creepy little scooter, and now she's built a hut in the back. Why did you?
Because she asked me, and I couldn't very well turn her down. Don't you remember? Of course you don't remember. That hag is the one that brought you to the hospital in Gotham City. For what it's worth, currently not much. We owe your life. When I think about every single woman in Gotham City, amnesia is probably the best thing that could happen to a girl like you. Oh, don't forget your visor.
Selina reels back against the wall, processing the strange info. Mom holds up a very goofy Oasisburg visor. Exterior Main Street day. Selina steps out of a shadow provided by the Be Happy billboard and into the sizzling sun. Visor atop head, Selina trudges down Main Street. Everyone else in the city walk is in the puttering past golf carts wear the exact same mega dorky visor. Selina scans to a single file lemming line of children who march into the superhero superstore. They come out the other end in Cult of Good t-shirts and bomber jackets, holding Sea of G lunchboxes, action figures, and pennants. Selina trembles forward. A hungry pack of tourist women pant against the glass of the jewelry store, lusting over a showcase necklace.
Oh, I give up my firstborn to wear it for a day.
The woman, wearing a kiss my butt, I'm on vacation shirt, turns from the pack to swat at her young daughter.
I told you to wait in the cart. I won't let you ruin my vacation.
Rubbing her cheek, the daughter makes a volume-speaking eye contact with the unstopping Selina. Selina comes to the end of the road, arriving at the earlier seen monument to all that is tacky and misguided ostentatious, Frank's Fun Palace. Interior Casino Fun Palace Day. The viewer's viewpoint stays on Selina's side as she marches through the sliding doors of the palace. She moves beneath the thermometer on the outside, busting over 120 degrees to the one inside that hovers in the low 20s. Selina immediately goes from drained sweater to swelter to stiffening shiver. The place has a typical perverse Vegas casino ambiance, amped to the next level of over the top. Owner Frank swings before Selina in a parka. You're late. I have some good news and some good news. I've given you more hours. The new uniforms came in.
What's the good news?
Exterior casino backroom day. Selina lines up in a militarily erect group of other women, all wearing the, quote, new uniform in its tight, hideous glory. Short, wacky tutus with a hole appallingly cut out in the stomach. A dumb game show host ideas of sexy. The earlier seen Didi leans back from the line to whisper to Selina, who holds her hand over her bare stomach.
You shouldn't have left the meeting so soon. Adonis gave a thumbs up flyby.
Selina is prevented a response by the piercing whistle. A scary, bespectacled young woman in a masculine outfit and a droning voice commandants out. Her name tag reads Esmeralda.
You know the drill, boys. When the whistle blows, you scoot to the next station. Memorize the new map, especially you, amnesia girl.
Esmeralda flaps over a blackboard, revealing an absurdly complicated map of palace dots.
Oh, today's new rule. When serving cocktails, the porthole on your uniform should be turned to expose the base of your spine. Failure to do so will result in a fine. I don't make the rules. I just really enjoy telling you them.
This can't be my life. This can't be. Could we fast forward to the part where I commit suicide?
Esmeralda narrows her eyes over to Selina. She pushes away her hand, revealing a bullet hole scar on Selina's stomach.
Oh, what a treat for our guests. Look, everyone, wounds. Take care of it.
Esmeralda blows her whistle. Interior women's lounge. Selina, Didi, and an African-American woman named Kelly scrub the floor in the vast women's lounge.
I've learned one thing in my life. Never go to work in a place where other people come to have fun. Nothing like the pressure to have a good time to bring out the worst in people. Kelly, I'm having another carpet crisis in my room. Now. Exhibit A.
Selina laughs. Kelly rises only half good-naturedly, speaking towards Selina.
Zombie laughs.
Esmeralda pokes her head in and blows her whistle. Interior dining area day. In a bloody apron, a completely nauseated Selina sets down a gigantic plate of gnarled, scorched cow amid a ravenous table of tourists beneath an all-you-can-meet sign. Esmeralda walks by, blowing her whistle. Interior main fun palace arena. With literally frozen smiles, Selina and Kelly serve a tray full of bizarre-looking drinks to separate tables of ladies in furs. After getting their 25-cent tips, Selina and Kelly step away, rubbing their arms to stay warm. Frank strolls by with a group of Japanese businessmen. He gives Selina a pat on her exposed back. You know, Selina, you're still pretty hot for a pre-bicentennial babe.
Pre-bicentennial babe?
Yeah, as in born before... Oh, I suppose it's sexual harassment to give a woman a compliment. Sheesh. Hey, come on, gentlemen. Frank leads the men to a mock gold door marked the Gentleman's Club. Selina watches him shove the gold key card that causes the door to whir open. Before she can take a closer look, Esmeralda blows the whistle. Later in the same place, a cut is made to Selina standing as a human statue in a water fountain in the middle of the casino. She tries to look at her watch. A whistle sound is heard. Interior exterior, a back doorway day. A trash can wedges open the casino's sliding doors. It hiccoughs against the can as the woman workers fall into exhausted, relaxed positions. Selina bites into an apple. The others look at her as if she burped.
What did I do?
Oh, no, it's nothing. It's just, the whole eating thing. I mean, considering the new uniforms, I could design a great uniform. I don't mind wearing something degrading if it's interesting, but God, this thing.
What would we do without this doorway? Where Africa meets the North Pole. The only place in this entire city that feels just right.
The women simultaneously release their tension and lean back into the well-earned but vague bliss, ruined by Esmeralda.
Are you ladies enjoying your break?
She obnoxiously blows her whistle and tugs away the trash can. The women bob behind the closing sliding door. Interior salon area. In a small tiled salon area at the edge of the palace carpet, Selina, Kelly, and Didi can currently manicure, pedicure, and facial the painfully demanding tourist.
Girls, listen to me. That's when Oasisburg was Oasisburg, before the foreigners.
Didi removes a hot towel from the demanding tourist's face. She looks off, suddenly mellowed.
What is that?
It's an every woman's dream.
Selina swings her head. As Didi coos out his bio, the viewer takes in the slow-motion sight of the magnetic man's man of Madison County, Brock Leviathan, making a charisma-drenched entrance from one end of the casino. A black Doberman trots next to him.
His name is Brock Leviathan, and he's a real architect, a true maverick in his field. Brock has designed some of the most unique yet functional structures on the planet, including this very fun palace. World traveler, sculptor, loner. During a fishing trip last year in Baja, he caught the second biggest marlin on record. Without a doubt, the most eligible bachelor in Oasisburg.
Not so fast. Here comes my vote.
Selina swings her head the other way. More of a sly, nimble charmer than the muy macho B. Leviathan, Lewis Lane takes an equally attractive slow-motion stride from the opposite end of the fun palace.
It's Lewis Lane, last of the serious journalists. The Oasisburg Times paid a bundle for him. Lewis won a Pulitzer for his first-hand account of the Corto Maltese Revolution. Excellent chef and a renowned jazz musician with a cult following in Europe. No woman has captured his heart. But I think he used to date Bjork.
The strutting Brock and Lane bump into each other, ending the slow motion. They give each other cool glances. Taking in everyone's attention, Brock's Doberman suddenly skids out onto the tile of the salon area. Selina tugs it out while the dog delightedly licks the heck out of her.
He likes you. Kincaid and I have always had similar tastes.
In women?
No, in art. I try not to bring up women around Kincaid. It's a sore spot between us. Long story.
I'll bet. Funny, for some reason, I don't think dogs are supposed to like me.
You say that like an amnesia victim.
Guilty. I am.
Ouch. I hope you're not offended by aggressively curious men.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Kincaid wags away. Brock gives off some simmering, smiling eye contact before moving off after him. Selina turns back. Lois Lane is facing her, also smiling. The women gape at the sight of Selina turning from Brock to Lane.
Shameless hussy. Amen.
Lois Lane contemplates.
A genuine woman of mystery in Oasisburg. Amnesia, bullet holes, and exposed stomach badly concealed with body makeup. Beautiful, intelligent eyes that have no business in Frank's Fun Palace or anybody else's fun palace for that matter.
Thanks?
Too nearby Esmeralda glares at the flirting Selina. She blasts her whistle, making Selina wince.
Pity, on to the next station.
A smiling Lane smooths off to the Mock Gold Gentleman's Club door and cards himself in. Selina narrows her eyes for a forbidden peek. Selina's POV sees a group of cigar-smoking men mesmerized up to a back of the viewer dancer in a perceptibly feline outfit. The dancer is moving her body in an echo of the dance Selina's mom did in the hallway mirror. Wait, could that actually be? With the door winds shut. Interior back area, Esmeralda is handing out checks. The women workers excitedly snap them, deflated by actually looking at them.
Oh, I think I'll run out and buy gum.
Did you know we make 30% less than what a man makes on the job?
You mean there are men who have this job?
I was speaking hypothetically.
Quit griping. It's not like you to have skill. They're better yet, hidden potential.
Sighing, but resigned to her new life, Selina neatly folds her check and departs out the back door exit. Exterior, alley behind the Fun Palace, dusk. Selina comes out into the alley, going into her sad, trudging mode. She turns into a similar sputter. She turns to a familiar sputter behind her. The old, heavy-eyebrowed Mexican hag is trailing on her rickety scooter. Selina tentatively scuffles back towards the scooter, causing the hag to buzz away. Selina breaks into a run, pleading out.
Wait, please. Strange old hag person, come back. I need to ask you. Please.
The Mexican hag twists to a stop. She smiles. With a happy exhale, Selina races forward, then suddenly Selina drops into a hole. Interior, the hideout of the Cult of Good, dusk. After a somersault through the air, shocked at her own physicality, Selina lands on her feet, behind a stack of boxes marked classified gadgetry. The tribal sounds of beating drums can be heard, further freaking her out. Selina squeezes through the stacks of boxes towards the drums. She's in the hideout of the Cult of Good. The level below Selina and the boxes is decked out with the usual high-tech fact-finding machinery found in any good superhero lair. More to the point, the center of the hideout is a round table around which stand Captain God, Cactus, Spooky, and Adonis solemnly beating their own drum. They stop so Captain God can speak in his abnormally normal voice.
We are the Cult of Good, secretly formed without knowledge of each other's identities. We live to make evil die, to serve mankind, but yeah, you know the rest.
Superheroes loosen up and kick back around the table.
Boss man, what were you going on about last night? I am the law and I am the Danish.
I don't know what I was saying. I totally phoned it in last night. I haven't been getting a lot of sleep lately.
And the crowd bought it.
Crowd always buys it. What do we got?
The shopkeeper on 13th Street won't drop the lawsuit. He still claims one of the lasers we fired at the Jenkins gang burned down his store.
Ugh, I hate innocent bystanders. Wine. Will he settle?
Yeah. Hey, God, can I have tomorrow off? My new serial is coming out. I'm going to sign boxes over at the upper level. Selina huffs into a half smile at the strange conversation below. The lower level of the hideout, Captain God bellows through his Darth Vader-esque voice box.
Well, I have to remind everyone that in 2 days we'll all be dead. The cult of good will be a memory. I don't want to hear about lawsuits or serials. We have a secret mission.
I still have to call my agent. My techno single just came at the Hot 100. But what's with the phone?
I have to dial 9 first.
Suddenly, an entering roaring mammoth hurls the seen last night Eyepatched leader of the robbers onto the table, chained.
Mammoth, bring bad guy. Mammoth not big and stupid.
Of course not, Mammoth. Sit. Sit, Mammoth.
Selina hunches forward, eyes widening, ever widening in fascination. Captain God coolly clambers up the table to stand over the defiantly seething Eyepatched leader. I thought we had a deal. The way it always worked, I give you some, you give us some. The bank robbery last night was supposed to be a guaranteed superhero free. But Captain God, you gave me your word. I don't get it. The cult of good is getting 40% of the cut.
I know. I feel bad. You see, we're getting out of this burg the day after tomorrow, and honestly, we just don't care anymore.
The cult of good rumbles into laughter. Captain God kicks the Eyepatched leader into a roll off the table. Selina is too petrified to move.
Oh, I really don't need to be overhearing this conversation.
At the lower level of the hideout, Spooky and Cactus unchain the more confused than ever thug. Wait, day after tomorrow, you're the keepers of the city. You can't just leave. You run this town. I don't understand.
I know you don't understand. That's why we're laughing.
Don't worry about us, hoodlum. We're giving ourselves a hell of a going away party. One that this cheesy city will never forget. We do it in every city we go to.
Every city you go to? What the... Guys, I can't believe you just said all that.
Oops, my face must match my cape. And to think we were gonna let you go.
Spooky twirls up her leg to boot the Eyepatched leader into a rolling chair. Cactus does a sock to the stomach that sends the chair and the crook flying across the hideout floor until stopped by Mammoth's fist. I vote car wash.
Car wash, car wash, car wash.
Well, we spent enough time building the damn thing. Might as well use it.
Bit sadistic, don't you think, Captain?
A bit sadistic, that's the point. What's gotten into you, Spooky? Our last week in this town, we follow one rule. No rules. Car wash it is. Good luck, man.
With LA Cop's sense of unearned superiority, the superheroes amble to the terrified Eyepatched leader. Captain God pulls a lever, and a piece of floor slides open. Cactus and Mammoth drag the thug onto the indiscernible to the audience hole, then bound out. Captain God presses a button marked car wash. A gear whining noise is heard along with some other unusual sound effects, and finally, a loud scream. Selina recoils back in horror, knocking one of the boxes into it, teetering on its last splinter position. The lower level, hovering over the opening, the cult of good flinches back with the disgusting but highly amused oohing noises.
That's gotta hurt.
He didn't remember to roll up his window.
3 seconds, I think we got a new record.
He didn't even try.
The sound of a falling box from above silences everyone. Captain God enunciates in his very best California Highway Patrol voice.
That is either a very big brat or a very big problem. Either way, kill it.
The upper level of the hideout, Selina does a weary cringe at the fallen box behind her.
Hidden witness accidentally makes noise to call attention to herself. How original.
Selina dives under a tarp on the floor. The superheroes scramble to the upper level, pushing away piles of merchandising and kicking up boxes. Cactus smokes towards the flimsy tarp. Ooh, yeah! Everyone erects themselves from searching positions. Cactus spins from the tarp. Selina pokes her eyes out. Ever grinning, the Mexican hag plainly reveals herself to the astonished masters of the universe.
Oh, senorita, this may be the biggest mistake of your life, but it is your last.
Oh, yeah! Cactus makes a cocksure step. With panther quickness, the old woman lowers herself and swings out with her legs, tripping up Cactus. With samurai skill, she crunches Mammoth's knees, deftly eludes a diving Adonis, and twists an elbow into Spooky's face. Captain God statuesquely mounts the steps to watch his team being outflanked by the little lady. He raises up his power glove and fires his fingers.
Adios.
Hit by the powerful bullet, the Mexican hag slams back against the upper level railing, crumpling into a heap. Selina shudders, biting down a horrified squeal.
Well, you don't see that every day. Somebody tell me what's the deal with Frida Kahlo here?
I was kissing my cat. Just a homeless woman, a wrong place.
Right time. That was kind of fun. She had spunk.
Why am I still troubled?
A melodic chiming noise fills the air. Everyone sighs.
Who's got the keys to the van?
The superheroes charge down the stairs. A shattered Selina crawls from the tarp. Tearing up, she eases up to the hag, whose face is bathed in beatific light.
Oh, no, 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 you hideous, hideous, beautiful woman. I can't stand another mystery in my life. I really can't. You led me into the hole, didn't you? You wanted all this to happen. Why?
A noise. Selina shudders to the sight of the black cat creeping from the rubble. Selina clings her up and sorrowfully pets her. The cat gently slips out of her grasp to curl next to the key around the hag's neck. Selina stares. Exterior, the Kyle backyard. Shining by the moon, the key seems to bob disembodied across the night until Selina emerges from the darkness wearing it around her neck. She's holding the cat in an almost zombie walk through her mother's backyard towards the hut. Interior of the hut. Night. Selina flaps into the hut of typical mystical hag decor, chipped crystals, smoking roots, scribbled curses, all illuminated by disturbing candles. Selina drifts by it all towards an ancient, wondrous chest and its sparkling by candlelight keyhole. Selina shoves the sweat-covered key over her neck and into the hole. Click. Selina lets go of the cat, who clumps into a comfortable witness position. Selina opens the chest. Inside is the Catwoman outfit. Its mask, its whip. Selina falls to her knees. Exterior snowy patch of Gotham City night. Again, the viewer glides across the snow of Gotham City, joining the Mexican hag as she tiptoes towards the wailing cat. Only the cat's not a cat anymore. Selina in the Catwoman outfit is writhing on the white ground, bloodied and bruised. Interior of the hut night. Clenching the outfit out of the chest, Selina crashes to her side in the dirt with body-racking cackles that veer into cat screeches. Selina cuts off, her eyes dead open. Exterior the snowy patch of Gotham City night. In the moonlit white, Catwoman has calmed into a graceful slumber. Legs approach. They belong to Selina Kyle. Her own Prince Charming, Selina kneels and twists and gives Catwoman a soulful kiss. Catwoman's eyes open. Wild winds begin to blow the Gotham snow. Exterior, outside the hut, night. Wild winds swirl around the hut in Oasisburg. Selina emerges in the historic Catwoman ensemble, pulling the mask on. The viewer's viewpoint swirls upwards into Selina's bedroom, night. The sexy, lazy Tempest knocks out the window of Selina's childhood bedroom, jostling everything out of its precious order. The army of ballerina figurines splatter everywhere. Mom flusters into the room to batten down. She looks out the window and gets a quick glimpse of a strange figure sliding into the night. Mom's reaction is hard to gauge. Exterior above Oasisburg, night. The viewer does an awesome citywide Zeus POV plunge into the glamorous Oasisburg. The lit-up billboard, emblazoned "Be Happy," nastily collapses out of the pretty picture. Exterior the rooftop of the billboard, night. Heaving a sledgehammer to rest upon her shoulders, Catwoman rises up before the moon. Her eyes dart over to another building topped with a billboard imploring, "Relax." She scowls. Exterior Main Street promenade. Families and couples pretending to be in love, all dressed in a "we're having fun" clothing, promenade the Disney City Walk-esque Main Street. Before they can break into song, the relaxed billboard comes crashing down between them, sending everyone screaming. The jewelry-loving bad mother is trying to instamatic the precious necklace. Her henpecked daughter points to the rubble.
Mom, did you see that?
I told you not to interrupt me.
Again, the bad mother spins to slap her daughter. A black leathered hand with sharp homemade fingernails intercepts the gesture.
Mothers shouldn't hit their daughters. Alas, we're not related.
Catwoman angrily paw pushes the bad mother's face, sending the woman down on her behind. Setting off an alarm, Catwoman punches the jewelry store glass and rips out the adored necklace. She flings it up a massive electric bug catcher that causes a sizzling explosion that anguishes the mother and delights the daughter. Alarm blaring away, Catwoman prances forward. The Starbuckian crowd squeamishly backs away and is too mesmerized to run. A cocky fraternity boy in Oasisburg U, where education comes third, t-shirt, presses to the front of the crowd.
Whoa, you people idiots. It's a woman, folks. I don't care what she's wearing on.
Catwoman casually launches her arm, uncoiling her whip with a lightning snap. It seemingly perfectly stings into the cocky boy's mouth. He holds his face in blistering pain.
Catwoman got your tongue? That's okay. It was a rhetorical question.
The fraternity boy charges forward. Catwoman calmly rolls over his bearing down back. She sweetly back kicks his face, sending the young man ramming into the store alarm, crunching it into a grateful silence. Catwoman happily sighs, fingering into her mock ears. The dumbfounded tourists fumble over their camera equipment and explosively fire.
Please, please, no flash photography.
A Planet Hollywoody doorman in a gold bomber jacket breaks towards a big red button, labeled the Cult of Good, set up in the corner like a mailbox. He's right about to reach it when the whip wraps around his ankles. Catwoman tugs him into a thud, then saunters the button herself with a gesture smile.
Come out and play.
Catwoman whams the red button. The melancholic alarm fills the air. Interior exterior superhero van on the North Main Street. The Cult of Good van blitzes towards the viewer, a periscope popping from its top. Superheroes are crammed together in the 70s shag carpet interior of the van. Cactus mans the periscope. I thought we were going to take it easy until the mission.
This looks promising.
The infrared periscope view shows the crunched relax billboard. Exterior Main Street Promenade. The van screeches into a half donut stop. The superheroes casually stop it like a clocking in of factory workers. Their calm is wounded by the sight of a line of tourists and citizens crouching in silence on the sidewalk.
Sorry. Leave the van running. This shouldn't take long.
Hello, Oasisburg! It's everybody's problem.
Apparently that.
Enchantingly curled in the middle of the street, Catwoman is in adorable slumber mode. Not waking, she bats a fly from her face.
What's the catch?
Oh, I've read about this filly. She's the one who gave that wimp Batman all those migraines up in Gotham. Kitty.
Back, Mammoth. I want someone to harm her, not cuddle her.
I don't know, boss. You saw what that big guy did to the last kitty we gave him.
How could I forget? Mammoth, go pet the kitten.
Mammoth approaches the nestled Catwoman and stomps down on her. Her stomach recoils back just enough to make a miss. Confused and enraged, Mammoth stomps again. Catwoman does a quick roll that ends with her resting against her elbow as if watching TV on the carpet. She awakens with a yawn. Mammoth rushes for a kick. As if pulled by a puppeteer, Catwoman uncoils into a standing rest against a lamppost. Mammoth rotates for another rhino charge. Instead, Catwoman bolts towards him. She ballets up to tiptoe to rest upon his belt buckle, then swings around with the other leg. Mammoth is thwacked into a stumble back. He sets off a stooge-esque whinny of frustration as Catwoman completely unwinds back into her original dozing position.
Stand off, Curly. Learn from the master.
Fixing a whirring drill bit to his mechanical arm, Cactus strolls forward. In a surprising flash, he comes down hard with the drill. Catwoman's stomach flies back an absurdly far distance back. Cactus comes down again. Catwoman does a full leg spread to make a miss. She then scissors her legs around the drill, snapping it off. She somersaults up, weaving from Cactus's determined punches. Catwoman then savagely rockets up her leg. With immense self-satisfaction, Cactus snares it by the ankle.
Nice leg, baby.
Thanks. I have two.
Using her held leg as leverage, Catwoman completely spins the other half of her body into the air, cracking Cactus's skull with her free leg. She lands on her feet. Cactus lands in a heap. The earlier glimpsed young boy in the crowd glumly lowers his beeping toy.
This isn't like the Game Boy.
Learn to read, you annoying little brat.
Catwoman strips the toy from the traumatized boy and flings it into the more emotionally than physically hurt Mammoth's face. Catwoman laughs, not noticing Captain God making a stealth move to her side. She darts a look at him as he raises his literal trigger finger. A beat. He fires at her head, and her head snaps back. With a sultry grin, Catwoman reels in and spits out the bullet. She confidently opens her mouth again. Captain God pulls out a machine gun from around his back. Catwoman's face drops, her mouth comically remaining open. Drawbridging back up, Catwoman dives beneath some trash cans as Captain God fires the machine gun. With his jetpack, Adonis swooshes down with a rising up behind a lamppost Catwoman. Wish I didn't have to hurt you so soon. What's pain without love?
Oh boy, wonderful. I know you don't have superhuman powers in traditional crime fighting, but I can tell by looking at you that in other areas, you're super duper man. Oh, and I'm in heat.
Mock smitten, Catwoman melts her body into his, an unbuckling noise. Adonis closes his eyes in pleasure. Catwoman's claws flick on a switch on the power pack. The machine whooshes disembodied into the air. Adonis opens his eyes to wail at his departing goodie. Woman, those things are expensive!
Shut up, bitch.
Catwoman viciously knees Adonis in the groin, doubling him over. She turns to the comfortably approaching Spooky.
I know that was a cliche, but as cliches go, a good one. Don't worry, I'm not forgetting you.
Catwoman launches a full-fledged kick into Spooky's privates. Spooky yawns.
Spooky.
Spear.
Spooky's spear extends out and the androgynous superhero gives it a sweeping swipe. Catwoman completely bends over onto her hands, forming a human arch. Spooky stabs down at the spear. Catwoman lunges and uses the weapon like a pole vault to flip over Spooky's head. Catwoman clings up to a brick and girlishly bounds towards the superhero merchandising store. Adonis yelps. Captain God, she's going for the superhero superstore! As he did before, Captain God presses up a remote. Laser beams shoot out of the front of the Sentinel Lions, not at the oncoming intruder, but veering wildly off past the superhero's ducking heads. The beams buzz smack dab into the phallic statue of the Cult of Good, erupting it in a Bobbidian blast. The crowd loses it. Squealing their lungs out, they disperse in all directions. In deranged anger, the do-gooders turn from their leveled totem to the worship back to Catwoman, who stands in a cutesy, boop-esque pose, index finger against her chin.
You see, I kind of reconfigured the laser trajectories. Oh, I don't know all those big words like you guys do. See ya.
With a giggle, Catwoman tosses the brick over her head. It bangs through the passenger window of the hero's idling van. The brick bounces off the front seat onto the gas pedal. The van roars forward, right through the doors of the merchandising store in a brisk, everything-shattering crash. The heroes roar in agony. Catwoman twists next to a comparatively stoic Captain God, purring into his ear.
You're not a superhero. You're not even a hero. You're a scary, sick fake who made a big mistake. You killed someone very special to me.
And your point?
Captain God does a savage elbow into Catwoman's stomach. He swings back around his hand, but Catwoman does a two-clawed catch. She unlatches his power glove, exposing his fleshy hand. She harshly, but not unattractively, bites into it, causing God to do a not unamusing scream through his...
Oh.
Catwoman cackles into a smooth cartwheel right into an open manhole. Mammoth bounds after her, but gets stuck with an ugly roar. Oh man, not the sewer. I just had this cape cleaned.
It's okay. Let her go.
Let her go? Our store, our pride. She castrated our monument.
Captain God is very calmly rubbing his injured hand with his uninjured one, then sticking the bloody fingers into the mouth of his helmet to lick them.
You like them, don't you, boss?
Oh, I like her. I like her a lot. I want to save this one for later. Something that tasty you don't eat all at once. Go back to your alter egos. We'll regroup in the morning.
The superheroes drift off in different directions, tensions boiling high. Spooky notices the black cat warming itself by the fire of the merchandising store. Spooky can't help but smile. Interior exterior, Spooky's place. Spooky leaps down a fire escape, then hustles behind the red cape to pull out a rabbit foot keychain. Spooky enters an apartment and flicks on a light. Staying outside, the viewer backs away from the lit window to see Spooky taking off a superhero costume. The chest plate comes off, revealing a sheet tied around Spooky's torso, the international symbol of a woman strapping down her breast to pose as a man. Spooky boils some water and pulls off some Kraft macaroni and cheese. As Spooky starts to take off the sheet, the viewer's viewpoint pulls out to Catwoman watching from the fire escape across the way.
I had a feeling. Spooky is a lady.
Interior exterior, the hut. The Catwoman outfit flutters down back into the chest. In pajamas, Selina looks meditatively into the old cracked mirror, stroking the black cat on her lap.
This can't be my life. This can't be. I can't believe it. I'm Catwoman. Me. So weird.
Viewer's viewpoint pulls out from the poignantly unsure Selina through a makeshift window opening in the hut. It's revealed Captain God is watching her.
I had a feeling Catwoman is that arousing woman from Frank's Fun Palace. Wow.
Interior of the mayor's office the next day. The mayor of Oasisburg is grimly pacing towards before his staff and the uncomfortably seated superheroes. Mammoth is scarfing a breakfast buffet. In a Stop the Violence t-shirt, Adonis is gently vined around a trembling with joy female staffer. So after you've been with a superhero, you can never go back.
Have you heard of Nowhere? Well, we're in the middle of it. Attracting people to come here is everything we're about. Tourism is 98% of Oasisburg revenue.
Mammoth raises his hand.
And don't ask me what's the other two.
Mammoth lowers his hand.
All it takes is one unpleasant thing to send people fleeing up to Tahoe and to Cuba. Last night, the helipad was jammed with people clawing to get out of here. I don't want to take anything away from you, man. The Cult of God has been great. You made crime fighting a spectator's sport, and I can't thank you enough. But will you please destroy Catwoman? I beg you. Make her die in agony. A couple serial killers I can handle, but have a woman running around in a sexy but dangerous catsuit. It gets you under your skin and you can get it out. Men question their manhood and women. I don't know what. I don't know.
Mayor, the animal will be put to sleep tonight.
Interior the Kyle kitchen. Selina breezes into the kitchen and casually tosses the minuscule muffin laid out before her into her mouth. Her mom looks up from the newspaper headline, Catwoman claws Oasisburg.
Where were you last night? I didn't hear you come in.
Because I didn't come in. I live in the hut now. I meant to tell you. Yeah.
Selina runs off, smiling at the newspaper headline. With a surprising mountain lion swiftness, Mom rockets around and poaches Selina by the arm. Both daughter and mother are unnerved by the move.
Just because you're starting to get your memory back, it doesn't mean you know everything. Be careful.
Mom lets go. Rubbing her arm, Selina backs out of the kitchen. Interior radio station day. An obnoxious, stern, as in Howard, DJ, Oink Jackson, is growling in the flesh next to a big mic and coffee mug reading, "Women, can't live with them, can't shoot them." Delicately seated across from him in the headphones is author/feminist Dr. Penelope Snuggle. So throwing women out of the moving vehicle when they make you angry. Look, I'm Oink Jackson, and this has been our morning's topic. Thanks for your calls. I admit, slowing down is a valid point. That said, I have a very special guest in the studio, one of the country's foremost post-feminists, Dr. Penelope Snuggle, author of, talk about timing, The Catwoman Complex. Penny, what is up with this chick? I gotta say, a bath with my tongue and she'd be a domesticated cat. Something like that.
You're probably right, Oink. You know, I almost feel sorry for the nutcase. Catwoman is just the ultimate example of I'm making quotations with my fingers, a powerful woman, a raging psycho who can't admit she needs an HUG. Don't even get me started on exploitively tight male magnet uniform with the strategically placed flesh patch rips.
Oh, don't get me started either. I'll lose my license. DJ Oink presses a button that does a boing noise. Penelope delightedly blushes.
Oh, Mike, you're bad.
Exterior, card on the main street. A radio crackles. Now, what symptoms should a man look for to make sure his woman isn't empowering up behind his back?
Well, if you refer to the chart on page 31, you'll see
a shoe kicks the radio into silence. The foot belongs to an out-of-conformist visor and groovy sunglasses. Selina. Didi drives.
What did you do that for?
My sanity.
Selina grins out to a bunch visored tourists hastening off, clutching hastily packed suitcases beneath an Oasisburg Times poster promo in Catwoman. Who, what, where, when, how, with a fuzzy photo. Selina catches sight of the frazzled, forward with the suitcase bad mother and her daughter, who, as she did before, make eye contact with Selina. She smiles and winks. Selina's a little freaked. How does she? But manages a smile too. Interior of the Fun Palace. Selina and Didi come in from the hot and take a violent slapstick hit on the back from the air conditioning. They stagger forward. Frank approaches, licking his lips. There you are, Selina. Look, I've been thinking. I have some positions opening up.
Stop.
Oh, what? I offer you a job in implied exchange for physical favors, and suddenly it's sexual harassment?
Can I be frank? Frank, your entire existence is sexual harassment. I accept there's not much you can do about it.
The women workers of the Fun Palace drift towards the bubbling volcano. Hey, you're anti-male.
Oh, Frank, I'm not anti-male, I'm anti-you. Believe me, there's a difference. Kelly is designing new uniforms for next week. Pay her and thank her. And is it a rule that the hottest places on the planet have the coldest air conditioning? There's something out there called 73 degrees. Look into it.
What if I were to say you're fired?
What if I were to say your wife? As in, does she know your touching mentor-student relationship with the post-bicentennial babe working the roulette wheel?
Kelly, get to work on those new uniforms, not running a summer camp here. Didi, Kelly, and the other workers look to Selina in impressed awe. Frank blusters off. Selina removes her shades. The Doberman Kincaid suddenly lunges into frame, insanely baring its teeth. Selina springs away as Brock Leviathan tugs it back with a leash.
That's strange. You seem so close. I wonder what happened since yesterday.
I wonder.
A dignified British butler, Jeff, intervenes, taking control of the hound.
Who buttles?
Oh, excuse me, I was butlering. Oh, do let me handle this, sir.
Why, thank you, Jeff.
The slightly flustered Selina and Brock walk off together through the vivid casino thoroughfare.
What's the matter?
Nothing, just a jolt of deja vu. I think I went out with a guy with a dignified British butler. Can't remember how it turned out.
I'll bet the butler's name wasn't Jeff.
You're probably right.
I was wondering, if you're not doing anything tonight, would you like to go to dinner? I know, a tame suggestion considering the wide variety of miniature golf possibilities available to the Oasisburg citizen, but nevertheless, would you?
Selina and the viewer scan to one of Brock's hands. It has a bandage on it. Flashback from last night, an eerie erotic slow motion. Selina Catwoman flashback bites into Captain God's exposed hand. Back at the Fun Palace, blown away, Selina snaps back into live action, bumping into a gambling woman, knocking away her martini. With amazingly suspicious reflexes, Brock snares the glass in the air with his bandaged hand and hands it back to the impressed gambler.
How heroic of you.
Kincaid got a little frisky last night. So meet here at 8 and go from there. Oh, by the way, I'm Brock Leviathan.
Of course you are. Dinner at 8? Wouldn't miss it.
There's a nice cafe down the street. Unless you're afraid of this Catwoman prowling around, we can always dine at the mansion if.
I'm not afraid. Are you?
Brock charmingly shakes his head, then waves off to a dazed and confused Selina with his bandaged hand. He pulls off his gold card and goes into the gentleman's club. Simmering at the goodbye scene, Esmeralda stomps up to Selina, opening her mouth to drone.
I liked you better when you were a mumbling catatonic. You might be able to push around Frank, but.
Selina plucks off Esmeralda's whistle, puts it on the bar, bangs it into pieces with her shoe, then lays what's left over Esmeralda's neck. Interior-exterior break-time doorway. Crash down in the patch of perfect temperature of the forced open doorway, the working women take their lunch break. Only Selina actually eats.
You have to chew so loudly.
Don't get angry at Selina for our food-free diet.
She's just got some nerve, that Catwoman. Oh, I know. If I have to see one more news report on that show off, anybody can do what she does. It's just, who wants to? Am I right? Swiping jewelry, beating up fraternity guys. Show off.
I don't know. I find her rebellious spirit rather refreshing.
She just thinks she's so great, sashaying down the promenade, snapping her little whip.
Hey, I've always wanted to do that, though. Walk down that plastic street and just bop anybody on the nose. It gave me guff.
Sure was fun to see the almighty cult of Hood get a good ego blow. Those guys are starting to get on my nerves. Yeah, they're like the popular kids in high school with different costumes. Face it, we're so jealous of Catwoman, it's disgusting.
Selina widely grins until the shriek of Esmeralda's glistening new whistle.
Move it. And Kyle, you're on 10 patrol.
Everyone shudders. Exterior poolside day. Poolside, Selina shuffles down a Frederico-esque line of sun-baking tourists splayed out in lounge chairs. With industrial-sized tanning lotion, Selina unpleasantly goes from person to person, oiling them up. She finishes an Insufferable Woman number 1 before moving on to Insufferable Woman 2.
She's a disgusting, filthy beast and probably a feminist.
Where does Catwoman get the right to call herself half a woman?
Selina lifts up a chilled Diet Coke and pauses it over Insufferable 2's back, contemplating a pressing action.
Do it.
Don't
Travis?
do it. She's not worth it.
The shadow of the amiable Lewis Lane's face shadows Selina. Wearying up a smile, she continues down the line of ozoned epidermis as they speak.
I don't know what came over me.
What is with women and Catwoman? Men have the courtesy to punish the weak, but women love punishing the strong. Don't get me wrong. This Catwoman is terrifying, subversive menace to everything this community stands for, and she must be stopped. Just like her a lot. I dislike her a lot.
Yeah, she's okay.
Most articles focus on the first half of her name, describing some feline monster. I want the woman of Catwoman. After all, if it was a man dressed as a cat, the story would be on page 23, just another loony. Oh, I want this one. I want her bad.
At a nearby outdoor bar, Kelly and the other women workers watch the flirting duo while pouring sangrias. The glasses overflow and overflow, but the female tourists don't notice because they're also watching with heat-seeking stares. Lane shakes out of his reverie.
Sorry, I get carried away. Once I become interested in someone, I can't stop trying to figure them out. Amnesia victims are challenging.
I actually got some memory back last night.
How much?
Enough.
Oh, now this one is mine.
Selina chuckles as they come to a sweaty, beached, obese man completely concealing his chase. Selina hands Lane the cocoa butter and stops laughing. His hand has a sizable bandage on it. The viewer is given a sped-up version of the cat bites hand flashback. Selina jolts back to consciousness. Lane notices his hand as he good-naturedly baits the whale.
On the hand, my grandfather is inventing a new kind of blender. You know, I realize I've never officially introduced myself. I'm Louis Lane.
Of course you are.
I was wondering if you're not doing anything tonight, you know.
I am. Dinner with Brock Leviathan.
God, no, don't tell me you're one of those women who are attracted to ruggedly handsome and brilliant architects.
Selina chuckles until Frank steps up to her. There you are, you ungrateful little. Like if you think I am letting you get away with your little one-woman show.
Now, Frank, I know you're not hassling your most beloved employee, and to think I was going to do a piece on the mystery promotion you're holding tomorrow night. Am I being subtle enough, Frank?
Oh, Mr. Lane, but Kyle and I, but we like to razz each other every once in a while. You know how it is, all in good fun. Let me tell you about tomorrow's event. It's gonna be amazing. Frank and Lane walk off together. Lane turns to wave his bandaged hand. Selina wobbles with even more anxiety. Esmeralda's whistle blows before she can rest her body on a chair. Interior bar area of main casino. The viewer's viewpoint moves down a bar snippet from various conversations with the bundled up tourists.
Catch her in a big bear trap and leave her out there for the whole city to see and learn from. The more thought of her is spoiling our whole, or the mere thought of her is spoiling our whole trip.
Call me crazy, but if Catwoman walked into the boardroom, we'd get the damn daycare center.
Selina is revealed to be at the bar at the end. She picks up a plate of drinks, then puts them down, tingling in contemplation. Didi sets down some empties.
Selina, are you okay?
It's just, they tell you really early on that women are just women. But then you hear things. Mother lifts up a car to save her child. One woman who won't shut up exposes the corruption of an entire government. You think, wow, those extraordinary other women. But what happens when you find out the extraordinary isn't extraordinary? The extraordinary is actually ordinary. What happens when you find out it's you? All along, it was you.
Ugh, I can't believe you're going off Brock Leviathan. Hey, who let that cat in here?
The oh-so-familiar black cat in the middle of the exquisitely royal stroll across the casino carpet. A grotesque female cat hater sours her face down at the passing pussy and gives it a kick into the air.
Oh, how awful. A cat.
Unfazed, the black cat lands on its feet by the staircase. It scampers up. Interior floor of hotel rooms day. Clambering up to a Fun Palace hotel floor, the black cat goes to an open door. The painfully demanding tourist woman seeds over Kelly, who is on her knees on a white carpet.
Oh, the incompetence of you people. You're not looking close enough. Closer. It's a spot, and it's unacceptable. When I come to Oasisburg, I demand.
The cat continues past a closed door as Frank stands outside talking to a male staffer. Look, animals have been in there for a month. Tomorrow I'll just call the police. The viewer's viewpoint goes through the door. Interior dark hotel room. A gargantuan, very depressed woman is crashed into a bed covered in a forest of discarded food wrappers. She zombies the two TVs simultaneously. She changes channels until both show footage of Catwoman. Exterior alley across the Fun Palace. Sauntering through the palace's sliding back doors, the black cat moves down the alley past the familiar hole. The viewer bobs down inside. Interior, the hideout of the Cult of Good. The superheroes take their positions around the circular table. They begin beating their drum until Cactus angrily tosses his away.
God damn.
What you say?
Sorry, man. I didn't mean that personally.
I know how you feel. Humiliated in the hands of a woman. I'd rather eat my soul on a paper plate.
Yeah, sure, whatever you say, Captain. But I say we leave this Catwoman alone. Like, as far as I'm concerned, she can have Oasisburg as a litter box. We're out of here tomorrow night anyway. Who needs the aggravation?
Yesterday, I found a rock.
Yeah, not now, Mammoth. Adonis is right. We've had a good run here. The protection kickbacks from the crime syndicates, the merchandising scams. Okay, tomorrow night we have a big, violent, complicated, and lucrative mission to pull off. We should be resting up.
Resting up? Sorry, Spooky. I've got to go with God this time. I hate to think we're just in this for the money. Garfield's girlfriend crossed the line last night, and she's got to get spayed. We're going out of Oasisburg on a win.
All loyal and lethal warriors of true fierce force and might, let us taste blood of feline and female on this sweet night.
The heroes pick up their drums and begin beating them. The viewer's viewpoint rises exterior Main Street. The cat is coming up to, skittering down the main street beneath the disgraceful poster of two well-endowed nurse and an advertising for breast implants. Buy two, get one free. The cat then dips beneath a golf cart outside the garage. Two mechanics are pretending to look under the hood of the cart, bursting with suppressed laughter. They're obviously bamboozling a painfully suspicious female driver.
Well, oh, this is bad. It looks like you're going to need a new goalpost switch. Yeah, goalpost switch. A what? How much is it?
The cat keeps trotting. A sweet Gen X woman bursts from a restaurant in tears. Her grungy, now ex-boyfriend, follows out to comfort.
Trust me, babe, it's for the best. I know you better than you do, and you deserve someone better than me.
But just yesterday, you even talked about getting married.
Hi, Trisha.
A yuppie ex-boyfriend parks his pretentious luxury golf cart and gives it an alarmed squeak. The mere sight of him causes the sweet Gen X woman to whimper off into the street where she almost gets hit by a newspaper truck promoting Catwoman.
Just dumped her. She takes it hard, doesn't she?
Sure does. Wow, what a coincidence. Two guys of different social backgrounds having gone out with the same chick.
Hey, how many times did you date her before you cut her loose?
8.
8? Me too. Let me buy you a beer.
Jesus Christ. The cat hops up onto a steel girder that gets pulled up into the air by a construction crane. The girder and the airborne kitty pass a window of a very nervous woman watching television. Interior, the apartment of a very nervous woman. She's watching Catwoman coverage. The phone rings. With a gulp, she picks up. It's me. What are you thinking about? Your breathing sounds nice. Interior apartment across the way. The stalker himself is revealed to be watching through a telescope across the way. Photographs of the nervous woman are pinned all over the wall. It's just me, or does the restraining mortar make everything so much more exciting? Exterior, outside the building. The girder comes to a landing before a school. The cat hops off. Interior classroom. The black cat moses across the classroom windowsill. Inside, 3 bright female students have their hands raised. The male teacher gives them a dismissive look.
Anybody else? Pete's sake, what is it with you girls in chemistry? Must remind you of cooking up recipes. That's it, isn't it?
The 3 bright female students lower their hands, sadly annoyed. Exterior, outside the school day. The cat sprints away from the school and back into the pickup golf cart where the vaguely working class couple pulls away from the stoplight. The working class husband is hauling a nice but not too nice dress from a shopping bag.
This is a joke, right?
Sorry, my script froze. Now, honey, it was on sale when I used my savings.
Yeah, your savings out of my earnings. What's wrong with the sweatpants I bought you? For a big woman, you got a small brain fetch.
The working class husband flings the dress into the middle of the road. The working class wife, in sweatpants, bounds from the cart to retrieve it. He revs away, leaving her stranded. The black cat ambles up behind her, tugging the dress with its mouth. The wife ruefully smiles, takes the dress, and pets the cat. The cat turns and sashays off the road towards the very familiar hut. The interior hut dusk. Using a grinding stone, Selina is buzzing her pristine ballerina figurines one by one into a very strange and sharp knickknacks of unknown purposes. She has a long sheet bibbed around her neck. The entering black cat nestles herself lotus by her lotus-positioned caretaker.
See anything interesting out there? If they only knew.
Montage of close-ups in limbo. Different closets in the world open in the same vivid motion. Sewing machines rumble across the bizarre array of fabric. Various cats cower in the frenetic off-screen behavior of their owners. Kitchen drawers are ripped open to reveal shiny would-be weaponry. The tops of clothes hangers are distorted to make a claw-gloved fingers. An army of eyes open in intense mascara.
They only knew it takes as much energy to not do something as it does to do something. So if it takes the same amount of energy, why not do something? Why not, even if it's just for a night? Why not get a little wicked? All that energy used to put up walls could be used to bring a couple down.
Exterior outside the hut. The working hands blend into Selina's banging and an outrageously cool motor into the Mexican hag's once rickety scooter. It has been remodulated to a slick black beauty of raw power. Selina gives it a buff with her bib, smiling down at her approving cat.
Nice, huh? I've strived to be someone who doesn't talk to their cat, but you're the only one who understands. So I've met a fascinating, charming, successful man, and I've met a man who pretends to be all these things, but who deep down is really one of the great sadistic psychopaths of our time. If only I knew which was which. I hate dating.
Selina takes off the sheet bib. She's dressed to the tens. Interior, Selina's bedroom, dusk. A claw drives down a curtain over the site for departing date, Selina. Exterior outdoor cafe, night. Selina and Brock shared a breezy chuckle at the perfect outdoor cafe.
If you designed Gotham Plaza, the big silver guys pulling on those big silver things.
What did you think?
Oh, it's superb. I mean, if you like that fascist nightmare kind of thing.
Hey, the client comes first. You think I want my future children to know their daddy created Frank's Fun Palace?
I checked out your stuff at the library. Awesome work, really. Why would someone like you want to go out with a what exactly am I again?
You're very special. Selina, I'm not a very good liar. I feel very strongly about you. Forgive my use of architecture metaphors, but I instantly know a good foundation when I see one.
The winds suddenly kick up in a sexy, scary Santa Ana style. Brock snaps a billowing away napkin with his bandaged hand.
I despise these kinds of winds. Sorry, I guess I'm a little on edge. Seems this Catwoman has everyone, men and women, on edge. Do you feel Catwoman says something about the duality of all men and women?
Stop. We are not having a duality conversation. Ooh, he has a secret dark side. Ooh, she has a dark side. Please. Duality is a joke. You get one, you understand me? You get one life, one shot. I'm so tired of women saying, I have an inner strength, or deep down, I'm really ambitious. One day I'll design my own line of clothing and write children's novels if I can only remember to return the videos I rented last night. If you are something, then you better be out there doing something. You need to be the same bold thing in the day that you are at night, with maybe a slight clothing change. If there is no gray area, the truth is not somewhere in between. There are two sides to every personality. All right, the reality and the lie. We are not having a duality conversation.
Did you see Seinfeld last week? That Kramer guy really makes me laugh.
Selina and Brock break into a tension-breaking chuckle.
I'm sorry I went off like that. I get passionate. I guess I'm a passionate person. One of those things I had forgotten. When you were a little boy, did you want to grow up to be a superhero?
A little boy doesn't. God, it's Catwoman.
No, it's not.
A crashing noise is heard. Selina turns. A death rock chic Catwoman, who is not Catwoman, the earlier seen female driver, is driving her golf cart back and forth through the shattering glass doors of the rip-off garage. Selina floats up in a daze. As she steps out onto the street along with a concerned Brock, more Catwomen seep out. Of every shape, size, and color, high fashion, low fashion, no fashion, some even have tails. A literally Persian Catwoman with a veil, some roller derby Catwoman, and a Catwoman in a wheelchair descend down upon the breast implant posters and scratch it to shreds with their homemade claws. A long, long braid of a black-maned Catwoman using her hair as a whip, slinging and stinging around a circle of gang members. Curling backwards from a black background, twin overweight Catwomen dispatch camouflage to tear and shred the visors of the tourist family. Selina then hears and sees a copycat woman cracking a whip. She loses it.
A whip? Now that's going too far. Some of these women have no shame.
What's the matter? What are you saying?
Well, it's just that I would think that the woman who is the real non-imitation Catwoman would be pretty angry at some little amateur minx stealing the whole whip idea. Really angry.
Selina cuts off as she notices, poking out of the alley across the street, a seriously observing Louis Lane in a trench coat. Brock reaches over and slams down a red button of the Cult of Good call box. The melodic alarm suddenly comes on.
This is insane. Let the heroes handle it. I better get you home. I should check on my warehouse to make sure it hasn't been hit.
Your warehouse? Go on ahead to your warehouse. I'll be okay.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Brock charges off. Selina narrows her eyes. She turns to see Louis Lane spinning into the darkness of the alley and dash off. Selina narrows her eyes.
Which one of you is going to go get your helmet?
Selina bounds away, passing the working-class wife who made the Catwoman out of her outfit out of her discarded dress. She faces a similar Catwoman.
Don't tell me you bought a simple and expensive dress and your husband flipped out.
You too? Ugh, I'll beat up your husband if you beat up mine.
The women shake hands. Interior split screen of two working homes. In the split screen, the two working-class husbands open their respective doors. A high-heeled leg greets them with a rocket slam that sends both men back on each side of the screen, collapsing violently back into a lazy boy.
Your wife works hard.
But she deserves something nice once in a while.
This didn't
have
to
to
happen.
Interior beauty contest. A swarmy beauty contest host leans into an insufferably cute contestant. Now, while our remaining contestant waits in the soundproof booth, let me ask you something, Tiffany. If you could repaint the world, what color would you choose?
I would sell the paint and use it to buy bread for the children of...
With the screams of an off-camera audience, an elderly Catwoman, a pregnant Catwoman, an all-redhead Catwoman, and of all people, Esmeralda in a Dr. Seuss Cat-in-the-Hat Catwoman ensemble rip down a Miss Oasisburg banner, then proceed to pummel and hair-tear all the contestants and the yucky host. Contestant 2 nervously vibrates in the soundproof booth, crossing her fingers, her back obliviously turned to the pandemonium outside. Contestant 1 gets slammed into the glass, causing 2 to turn around. Wearing a stolen tiara, Esmeralda Catwoman snarls up against the glass, and contestant 2 instantly faints. Interior, a dull home. The world's dullest American Gothic couple are expressionlessly watching the beauty contest Catwoman riot behind the TV trays. The dull wife slowly stands and exits the frame. Interior, the hotel room of the gargantuan woman. The gargantuan depressed woman heroically remotes off her TVs. With all her might, she maneuvers a leg out of bed and with an apocalyptic thud. Exterior, outside the hut. Catwoman races from the hut fully dressed. She triumphantly vaults across upon her groovy motorcycle and vrooms it to life. Or not. The motorcycle coughs to a wheezing halt. Crushed, Catwoman slumps off, then twists around in a furious beyond belief feline whine. Interior police station night. The chief of police is being dragged into the worst night of his life. He shouts into a big dispatch microphone.
I need all the units to Town Square. The conniving Catwoman has been seen terrorizing tourists by... Correction. Catwoman has proceeded to the docks. I need all units to once and for all. Correction. I think we've got her now, boys. We've got a sighting of the ferocious feline at... Wait a minute.
Extending his transmitter as far as he can, the chief stretches out the window. Outside, Catwomen run wild in the street.
Correction. God help us all, Captain God.
Interior, exterior, the van. The van rumbles down an alley. The superhero crew are angry and determined.
Have we reached the epicenter?
Hey, some cats blocking the periscope. Someone give it a swat. The infrared view of the periscope shows a close-up view of the content black cat. Exterior, van, main street, outside the van. Cactus bangs out the outside of the van and hops up to shout at the cat.
Beat a cat, or I'm going to.
Cactus makes a deadpan turn from reaching for the feline atop the van. His jaw drops, as do the jaws of his exiting teammates. Craning up from the van, the viewer sees what they see. More than ever, the street has been completely taken over by marauding Catwomen of every kind, destroying storefronts with a delighted lack of purpose. A squealing trio of helmeted police officers run away, right into the wall that is the gargantuan depressed woman, wearing a storeroom of black leather. The cops collapse on impact. The cult of good calmly surveys the scene.
Mammoth feel queasy.
They had no idea it was this bad. The entire city has cat scratch fever. Such disregard for our codes of justice.
Have you ever given a cat a bath? It's not very pleasant. Them.
Interior of the stalker's apartment, night. In his strategically dark apartment, the stalker licks his lips and dials the phone. Hey, it's me. What are you wearing? A feline screech on the other line makes him wince. He looks through the telescope. The nervous woman, now a very unnervous Catwoman, is waving from across the street, baying into a cordless phone. 3 sets of glowing eyes move closer behind the hyperventilating stalker before emerging as attacking Catwoman. Stalker screams. A nun Catwoman in bright red lipstick takes the telescope off its perch. Interior, an abusive household. An abusive husband is pushing the head down of a hunched over, seen in the first scene, sad woman.
Pick it up. I said pick it up. Pick it.
Esmeralda Catwoman, in her new beauty contestant tiara, is hooking a huge hook into the back of the abusive man's belt. She raises up a walkie-talkie.
Up.
On a building across the way, a line of Catwomen tug a street-crossing rope with all their might. Interior of the abusive household. The abusive husband is ripped up into the air, through a shattering window, and into a dark oblivion.
Please, I don't want you to hurt him.
Cool cats.
Interior of the police station, night. A jello of frayed, defeated nerves, the police chief groans.
Oh, wait a second. Where did they find the telescope? Ouch. Ugh. Sighting of how many? No. Not the fun palace.
Interior hotel room. The painfully demanding tourist woman lays twitching and totally traumatized by the pool of raw sewage that has been discharged all over the formerly pristine white carpet. Culprits, Didi in tabby tweed gear, the African-American Kelly in all white leather prance from the room and down the staircase. Interior of the casino area. Catwomen have spectacularly taken over the casino, completely trashing the place, delightedly laying siege on the fur-coated women and the terrified tourist men. All the men in the casino break into a dead heat towards the gentleman's club, frantically searching for and ripping out their gold key cards. Most of them manage to scramble inside, except notably Frank, who drops his card. Didi-Tabby, Kelly Cat, and others descend upon him just outside the door. Didi ominously pulls out the scissors. Interior Gentleman's Club. Frank's moans can be heard through the scratching noises against the door. An extremely unrelaxed legion of men press quivering flesh, crammed against each other in the moody, tacky Gentleman's Club. The mayor, in his pajamas, trembles amid them all.
Oasis? It's supposed to be an oasis, not a place where women dress up like pets and suddenly have an absurd proficiency in the martial arts.
Exterior Main Street. Pumping from a van, holding a massive hose, Mammoth fires an elongated ocean into the Catwomen. Like all cats, the ferocious pounding of water drives them into a shrieking insanity.
Works for me.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little bit of a buzz from this.
Yeah, this is better than grape.
Yeah.
Cactus, sometimes you don't deserve to wear our logo.
Touchy. Look, everybody, it's Casper, the friendly crime fighter.
Interior of the casino area. The female cat hater sees our favorite black cat prancing across the carpet. She cringes her eyes shut and rears back for a kick.
Oh, how I hate.
She kicks forward and opens her eyes. The Catwoman is lying in the cat's place, effortlessly pawing the cat hater's foot.
You wouldn't hit a woman.
Catwoman flips the cat hater over the bar with a crash. Catwoman then springs up to a standing position. A team of security men in blazers race forward, reaching for their guns. Catwoman fiercely flings her shaved and sharpened ballerina figurines. They pierce into the guards' hands, causing them to dump their weapons and fall to their knees. Catwoman glowers ahead at the sight and sound of copycat women, cracking her whip in the distance. Catwoman bounds into the air, and she uses the shoulders of a wailing, kneeling security man as stepping stones. The copycat woman swings back her whip, about to crack it. Selina's whip wraps around hers, and she gets yanked back, her spine slamming into the real Catwoman's chest.
Every woman can be a Catwoman, but the whip thing is mine. Got it?
I don't see why everyone can't just.
Catwoman cuts her off with a cat shriek that sends copycat woman running away whimpering. Real Catwoman smiles down at the sight of a nervous shaking Frank, tied into a stretched position in 4 directions across the craps table. A round hole in his shirt has been scissored out. His hairy potbelly hangs out like a popped but unwiped pimple. Catwoman then comes into the sight of the sweet Gen X girl who was dumped in the street. She has catted herself up in a shredded wedding dress. She's holding a pipe over a large pleading construction worker's head.
Come on, just because I whistled at some girl, I have to be savagely beaten? It's not my fault. I was never taught to adequately appreciate women.
Okay, I'll just hit you once.
Thank you.
Catbride clangs him to the ground. A frightened accountant tries to crawl past. Catbride is ready to bonk him when Catwoman intervenes.
Take it easy, Tiger. I've been dumped by 2 supposedly serious boyfriends in the last month. Don't tell me to take it easy. Hey, there are bigger problems for women than the stupidity and cruelty of men. Name 2.
Catbride springs forward, tackling a fleeing man 3 times her size, and begins tearing at him. Laughing, Catwoman hauls her off. Suddenly, 2 sets of police officers, one led by the chief, converge from opposite directions, pulling out their guns. In one spectacular move, Catwoman simultaneously swings back her arms and cracks both her whips in the opposite into the opposing lead cops, stinging them to the ground. Everybody else retreats in terror. Didi-Tabby, Kelly Cat, and all other Catwomen wobble forward in awe to lay at the feet of their master. Since our Catwoman is the only one who makes an effort to speak in a slightly different voice, she is unnoticed as Selina.
It's Catwoman.
Yes, the one and only.
How are we doing? Did we do okay? What do we do now?
It seems you've all had a heck of an evening, but you probably should quit while you're ahead. It's getting late, and it's probably safer if everyone just goes home and...
Catwoman turns to a portable radio on the ground. You got Oink Jackson on WIPG, and I never thought I'd say this, but I have found a group of people more annoying and worthless than women, and that is Catwomen.
On second thought, who's up for a nightcap?
Interior of the radio station night. DJ Pig stands and sneers into a big mic. Look, this whole city is in panic over these chicks, and I say, please. You want to see 100 angry and twisted women? Talk to my ex-wives. Look, as for the whining, pathetic X-chromosomes catting around the night, fill with the missing letter, P, M. Oh, look, we have a caller. Hold on.
Oh, oink. I finally found a man with the courage to tell the truth about women.
Exterior, South Main Street. Catwoman is comically leaned into a phone booth, other Catwomen tightly surrounding the glass.
I'd really love to discuss the subject further. What's your address?
Exterior North Main Street. The water is squeezed off. In a brutal follow-up march down the street, the superheroes hoist up incredibly cool tranquilizer guns and fire away with remarkable, inhumane society skill of the soaked, frazzled felines. The familiar faces get blasted from liberated euphoria to instant falling coma. The hair is a whip cat, the twin overweight Catwoman, the Persian, the wheelchaired Catwoman, along with some new ones, a homeless Tom Catwoman and a hairless Catwoman, a cat tattoo-covered Mardi Gras bikinied Catwoman, a midget Catwoman, and a dressed for success Catwoman.
Hunting we will go, hunting we will go.
Cats, now and forever.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting Catwoman.
Cactus, watch out for that Siamese behind you.
Cactus turns to Siamese twin Catwomen behind him, tucked into the same Siamese fur-resembling outfit. He fires a dart between them, sending them both crumbling. Last but most, Adonis fires a dart at the thudding forward gargantuan Catwoman. She keeps thudding forward. The rest of the superheroes fire their weapons. She keeps thudding, then savagely timbers to the ground. The cult of good is sighing in relief.
The tranquilizer Tranquility will hold for about an hour. Where is she? These women are out here on a lark. Ladies' night at a discotheque. It's not in their blood the way it is for Cat. Where is she?
I hate it when you get like this. This Catwoman is becoming an obsession. I say we call it a night. Tomorrow is a big day for us.
What's the matter with you, Spooky, my most trusted comrade? We are warriors. These are the challenges we live for.
Oh, Mon Capitan, you might want to come over here.
Cactus stands by a golf cart with its radio blaring. Oh, you hot tease. What kind of surprise do you have for me?
Now, if I told you, it wouldn't be a...
Now, don't say any more, babe. Just bring it on. Bring it on.
I recognize that purr anywhere. Let's do some good.
Exterior, an Oasisburg rooftop. The familiar Catwoman from the casino plow out from the rooftop door. On the rooftop, across from them, towers the neon antenna blazing WPIG. Commandeered by Catwoman, the Catwomen extend out a wide wooden plank to connect the two buildings. Catwoman catches sight of an earlier seen high school girls adorably dressed as matching kittens. Catwoman gets stern.
Wait, you three. You're not cats. You're kittens. Go home. No way. All we did was soap our sexist science teacher's car. We're still hungry.
Giggling, the kittens scamper across the wooden plank. Just then, Adonis whooshes up between the two buildings in his jetpack, cradling DJ Oink in his arms. So long, suckers.
Catwoman!
Just as Catwoman angrily processes the sight of the fleeing DJ, they look across to the opposite roof. Mammoth has emerged and is slamming a pickaxe down at the high school kittens, who are all futilely rolling across the rooftop, trying not to get impaled.
Kitties. Kitties.
Come on, Catwoman.
Catwoman turns to see the rest of the crew wagging away in fear through the rooftop door. Catwoman sighs. Exterior radio station rooftop. Mammoth has one of the kittens cornered. He comes down hard with his pickaxe. Catwoman whip wraps the pickaxe and tears it away. She then hurls another squadron of her sharp ballerina figurines. They slam harmlessly into Mammoth's boosted up shield. She whips lifelessly against the shield as Mammoth fee-fi-fo-fums forward. The women go into a football-style huddle. They break with a simultaneous hand clap, and they charge Mammoth all at once, pounding, leaping, tearing at him. Despite his shield, he tips and tips back over the edge. He grips up with one hand. His shield falls. Exterior, the street below. The earlier seen grungy ex-boyfriend and yuppie ex-boyfriend accidentally run into a face-to-face recognition.
Hey,
You're the guy who...
The ex-boyfriends simultaneously look up and get plastered by the falling invisible shield, crushing them below frame. The Catbride strolls up and smiles down at her crumpled ex-exes.
Wow, what a coincidence. Two guys of different social backgrounds getting nailed to the ground by the same piece of multi-strength plexiglass.
Exterior, the rooftop night. Mammoth hangs by his fingertips, looking up with baby eyes. All the girls melt.
Mammoth no want to die. Help, Mammoth, please.
Aw,
Oh,
poor
poor
little guy. Oh, my adorable kittens. Word of advice when choosing between you and the person who wants to hurt you, choose you. Kill Baldy.
After a millisecond of contemplation, with baby cougar rage, the girls all wildly stomp on Mammoth's hand. He drops with a howl. Exterior street level. Moaning Mammoth crashes down atop the yuppie BMW's golf cart, demolishing it into dust and setting off its annoying cart alarm. Exterior the rooftop. Catwoman lowers the kittens onto a fire escape.
Scoot.
Thank you, Catwoman. Sorry for not listening to you before.
Go on, get out of here.
So sweet. Protecting your litter. You can't tell, but I'm smiling.
Captain God pleasantly traipses across the roof towards Selina. No hurry. As they speak, they curiously circle each other before relaxing into a closer and closer standing position at the edge of the roof, like honeymooners by the rail of a cruise ship.
Hasn't anyone ever taught you that fighting violence with violence solves nothing?
It's a lot more fun than fighting violence with pamphlets. That voice box of yours is a hoot. Say, I'm wearing no underwear. It'll be funny. You do know you're evil, don't you?
A superhero's job is to protect society. Don't blame me if society is a horrible, corrupt joke.
A superhero's job is to protect. Sorry, I can't take you seriously. I overheard you say that tomorrow the cult of good will be dead. Should I be so lucky? What did that mean?
Aye, those little ears pick up a lot. The cult of good will die heroically, preventing a world-class heist. Since we will be the ones performing the heist, our deaths will obviously be fake. But have no fear. There will be many other deaths tomorrow, and those will be quite real. I'm afraid these questions of yours put you in a position not unlike the long-tailed tabby in a room full of rocking chairs.
Oh, please, sir. One more. Are you the reporter or the architect?
Yes, I am the reporter or the architect. We've been through so much. It looks like you've used up all 9 of your lives.
I still have one left.
Think so, Selina?
You've seen me.
Captain God suddenly, savagely slams his power glove around Catwoman's throat in a completely incapacitating strangle. In her death throes, Catwoman's disoriented POV has the captain's helmet do a fantasy dissolve to reveal Brock Leviathan wearing the rest of the uniform, seething in his own voice.
The world has demanded that men get in touch with their feelings, that we look deep inside ourselves, what we have. And you're not going to like what we found. You expected us to soften, to become more human. The new male. The new male is like the metric system. It will never happen here.
Catwoman's POV does a wobble, and suddenly it's helmetless Lois Lane who's strangling and snarling.
You tried to weaken us, sap our energy, and it almost worked. Men realize more than ever we have to go for the win. Whatever you said we were too much of, whatever we have to become more of violent, domineering, uncaring. We're taking back lost ground.
Exterior, the rooftop across the way. A spectacularly flamboyantly done-up Catwoman, which the savvy viewer will be able to discern as Selina's mom, is sleeking across the roof across the way with a grand bow and arrow. She raises it up. Exterior rooftop night. Back to a complete reality. Mystery Man Captain God kisses the temple of the life-drained Catwoman, still taunting through his voice box.
The great thing is that even as I kill you, you find me more attractive than ever. You like the danger, the power, the mystery of my cruelty.
A bolt arrow slams against the power glove with a nasty spark. Staggering back, Captain God unleashes Catwoman's throat in amusing through the voice box, outraged agony. Gasping, Catwoman heals God in the knee, crippling him, then does a 360 spin kick into his bonging neck. She dashes to the edge of the rooftop to see the spectacular Catwoman zipping away.
Ma?
Captain God aches upward. Catwoman runs over to him like a carpet and pounds to the fire escape. God rasps into his wrists.
She's coming down.
Captain God recollapses. Exterior Main Street. In his hardy jetpack, Adonis streams over the tranquil streets strewn with the tranquilized Catwoman. He smiles over his evening's accomplishment. His POV passes Catwoman standing placidly in the alley. He reverse votes black. She's waving. Here, kitty, kitty. Adonis thunders forward full throttle right at a completely unmoving Catwoman in the narrow alley. The viewer gets his rocketing POV until it suddenly stops midair in an outrageous crashing sound. Another view reveals that Adonis has crashed smack into Mammoth's shield, which has been wedged into the mouth of the alley. Adonis crashes back onto his pack. Didi-Tabby, Kelly Cat, the high school kittens, and Catbride emerge from hiding positions to congratulate. Catwoman tosses away the shield. Achingly smitten, despite her recent empowerment, Didi-Tabby sighs down at the sleeping Adonis. She bestows him a kiss, at first sheepishly, then here seriously vigorous. Catwoman shakes her head in disappointment.
Oh, Didi.
Sorry. Hey, how did you know my name? Yeehaw! Looks like this town ain't big enough for the both of us, partner.
Cactus takes a Dodge City pose at the end of the Catwoman cluttered street. He loads a missile into his cannon arm. Didi-Tabby scurries to the busted window sporting goods store, rips a small tennis ball machine, and hurls it to Catwoman, who catches it with one arm without looking. Her mega coolness crumbles when she realizes what she's caught.
A tennis ball machine?
I tried.
A big gun would be nice.
Didi-Tabby sheepishly shrugs her shoulders. Making the best, Catwoman turns to Cactus. They do the traditional gunslinger walk towards each other down the street, holding their unorthodox weapons at their side. They dramatically stop.
Last words.
Hakuna Matata means no worries.
I know what Hakuna Matata means, you.
They both draw. Catwoman Eastwoods a tennis ball perfectly into the mouth of Cactus's cannon with a loud thunking noise. He tries to bang it out.
No, it's clogging. It's.
Cactus holds his machinery arm away from himself with howling panic. It erupts, sending the rest of his body flying against the wall. Catwoman turns from the sight to the viewer.
That's gotta hurt.
Catwoman high-fives the surrounding Catwomen. Their joy is short-lived as Spooky, with too fast to fast register speed, whacks everyone but the original Catwoman to the ground with her trusty spear. It replaces itself into the small white box holder.
Hello, Spooky.
I don't want to hurt you, Catwoman, yet. After tomorrow, you can do anything you want, but please just stay out of sight for the next 24 hours. I won't stand by and watch my leader get all emotional over an animal like you. I warn you. Don't tempt Captain God when he's angry. Let us complete our mission in peace.
Whatever you say, sis.
Spooky slightly double takes at the last syllable, then charges into the night. All at once, a street full of Catwomen behind Catwoman rouse from their forced hibernation. They individually drift off in eerie silence. Interior, incredibly dull home. The dull wife comes back into frame and resits behind her TV tray, unnoticed by her dull husband. She has a bandage on her forehead and a barely perceptible smile. Exterior, outside the hut, day. As if in the throes of a bad hangover, Selina rustles out from the hut. She freaks up at the sight of Lewis Lane strolling from the parked golf cart.
Good morning.
Ah, you scared me. How did you know to come here? Have you been spying?
No, of course. You're listening, not the hut exactly, but the rest of.
Well, I'd let you come in, but the place is a mess.
For comical effect, the viewer gets a view of the couple out through the open door of the creepy lair.
Next time, call.
I thought you'd like a ride to work. You don't own a cat, do you?
As Lane turns towards his car, Detective Selina mischievously calls out.
Hey, Captain God.
What did?
You turned around.
Yes, you shouted the words Captain God at me for no reason.
Oh, do you turn around every time somebody just shouts at you?
Actually, yes.
Selina nods, not really knowing if she just proved something, then knowing she didn't prove anything. Head down, she stomps to the cart. Exterior streets of Oasisburg. Still suspicious as hell, and who can blame her? Selina warily watches her driver as they putter a side street. Both are in groovy sunglasses.
Did you try to kill?
What?
Nothing. How's your hand?
About the same, thanks for asking. Damn, Blender. Okay, I can't stand it anymore. I'm dying to know, did you try on some whiskers last night and hit a 7-Eleven along with all those other women? You have to have thought about it a Catwoman for a night.
Like you don't know.
I'm having a hard time picking up your signal this morning. What did you say?
I said I saw you last night. What were you doing hiding in that alley, running off when the superhero alarm sounded?
I was doing my job at the risk of sounding egotistical. I didn't become the best reporter in the world sitting by the phone. I was chasing tail all night. I was not spying intentionally on your hot and heavy date with Brock, Leviathan Architect. I can't believe you ordered white wine. You do know white wine is not real wine. But that's not true.
Hey, I thought
The cart turns a corner onto Main Street and Selina cuts off. Like war-torn refugees fleeing their homeland, a Zhivago-esque parade of tourists rumble down the street with their suitcases. The painfully demanding tourist woman, still covered in sewage, zombie walks, trudging, wheeled Gucci.
I'm afraid last night was the last straw of our city's tourists. The mayor, in this finite wisdom, is throwing a month of the women luncheon ball for the public this afternoon to try and calm everyone down. And maybe you and I could,
go together? Sure, why not? Another date with someone who could be an insane messenger of death for all I know. No offense. Hey, lean over. Let me smell your breath. Say in a deep voice, a superhero's job is to protect.
You're scaring me, Selina. Do it some more.
Selina stares deeply into Lewis Lane's eyes, trying to get a reading. He breaks her stare with a surrendering laugh.
I give up. I give up. I can't figure you out. I'm not going to try.
You can't figure me out. You're the strange one.
You are.
Uh-huh.
It seems as if they're going to kiss. Then Lane sneezes. Selina laughs as the cart chugs up to the Fun Palace. Interior main area of the Fun Palace. The regular casino tables have been completely cleared out. Workers and a chamber orchestra are setting up for a banquet-type event. And entering Selina watches Lane walk over and shake hands with the mayor and Frank, pulling out a notepad. A month of the woman banner is raised up.
It'll work. Thanks for coming, Lewis. I think this little event will turn things around for the gals, don't you? Don't you think? The tourists will return, right? Right? I'd probably refrain from using the word gals, at least until things calm down. Yeah, good thinking. The cult should be here for these.
Out of his pocket, the mayor presses a portable version of the big red Cult of Good call button. Exterior high school football field. The civilian Cactus is a brutal high school football coach, bellowing down a line of players doing push-ups. He wears a fake cast to cover his lack of arm. He pulls a beeping beeper from his windbreaker and trudges off. Interior, a bunch of lonely office cubicles. The civilian Spooky works on a phone cramped into an office cubicle, the height of loneliness. She pulls out a beeping beeper and exits her space, passing a multitude of cubicles with other Asian women are trolling away in solitude. The set of a fashion shoot. The civilian Adonis is a male model, wearing barely existent bikini briefs. He's holding a Zima in an all-white studio set before a snapping away flamboyant photographer. Somehow pulling off a beeping beeper from the back of his briefs, he races off the set. Exterior comfortable doorway, day. Selina and the women workers are in their familiar break time place, completely silent and completely at ease. They are all eating from Chinese takeout boxes, passed back and forth between each of them in a wonderful syncopation. They all wear small bandages. Didi touchingly breaks the sweet tranquility.
Remember when you said you had amnesia, Selina? I think I had amnesia too. I had forgotten that I'm something more than spaz.
Bandage just over her eye, Esmeralda comes into the doorway and everyone stiffens.
The event is starting, but no hurry. Take your time. Finish eating. You're all doing a great job.
Esmeralda floats off. The stunned women drift back to their bliss, Selina most blissful of all. Interior main area of the Fun Palace. Doing some last-minute tugs on a simple but sophisticated dress, Selina saunters into the polished and impressively subdued main casino area. Upstanding citizens mill about, chatting with a certain post-earthquake riot mass Catwoman attack unease. The chamber orchestra plays something ever so pleasant. Couples stiffly dance across the floor, the men a little afraid to lead. Adonis, however, is really working the floor. Women, both bandaged and unbandaged, satellite around him, breathlessly waiting for their turn. Didi gets a giddy turn. Very antsy in their nice garb, most of the women are wearing some sly form of bandage. They are very tentative around each other, holding a secret that is not secret, but must remain a secret. Selina holds out a tube of cream to the bandaged sweet young woman who was last night's Catbride.
It's very good for burns. Thanks. I was cooking last night, and I know.
The voices of DJ Oink and a happily armless Cactus make a nails against a chalkboard waft to Selina's ears. She turns to them, kicking back at the bar with the mayor.
Oh, and they're flopping around the water, just squealing their little lungs out.
Women, the way they were meant to be. Next time, you got to get it on film.
Yeah, boys, let's keep everything nice.
Selina clenches her fist and begins simmering trek towards Oink. When Brock touches out to her shoulder.
Selina, did you make it home all right? I tried calling, but your mother said that there was no extension in the hut, whatever that means.
I got home fine. How's the warehouse?
Fine. You're angry. Don't be. The important thing is we're together now.
At some sanctimonious celebration of condescension, nothing like appeasing half the population with a 2-hour luncheon.
Exactly. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Brock, today you are without me. Or maybe not.
And then Lane says,
Can I just say what a classy touch that neon...
Nope, one line up.
Oh, excuse me. What I meant to say was... what I meant to say was, there you are, darling. Have we met, Lewis Lane, Oasisburg times?
Oh, how long have you had your own route?
Well, can I just say, what a classy touch the neon urinals are, Mr. Architect. I just love risking electrocution every time I miss a line.
Selina drifts, which is often. Selina drifts from the increasingly unsubtle macho standoff to Spooky leaning against a pillar.
What's a powerful man like you standing all alone for? Dance with me?
I'm sorry, miss. One of us needs to keep surveillance.
Oh, pooh. If you turn me down, I just might throw a fit. You know how us girls can be.
Selina takes Spooky's hand and tugs her amid the other couples. The supremely robust superhero is now an awkwardly trembling klutz, but she calms as Selina's arms slide around her. As they speak, their meandering takes on a voluptuous rhythm.
So what's it like being a superhero? It must be frightfully exciting. How did you guys all get together?
Sorry, I'm having a conversation over here. We met on the internet. The captain put out a cryptic message calling for a new order of crime fighters. We don't even know each other's true identities.
Brock and Lane stand together, staring a little dumbfounded at the perversely electrifying couple on the floor. Selina spins into a sultry lean back against the masculinely receptive Spooky. Losing their superhero stiffness, Spooky lets herself into the groove.
You seem sad, Spooky.
Not sad, no. I owe the captain my life. It's just you think you want to help prevent crime, but you realize that it's too complicated. It's a lot more fun to punish crime. It's a lot more, I'm sorry, then after a while, you don't care what's a crime and what's not. What you became a warrior for. You just want the kicks, the rush.
The kicks, the rush. You mean like pulling heists, faking your own deaths, killing innocent bystanders like Mexican angels? I know you're a woman. Do you?
Spooked, Spooky stops dancing. She backs away through the crowd. At an elevated podium, the mayor taps the microphone.
If I could briefly have everyone's attention, this is the way it should be between men and women. Nice, just nice. Women of Oasisburg, I hope this month of the Women's Celebration tells you just how wonderful we think you gals truly are. Did I say gals? Women. I hope those of you who are bad last night have got something out of your system. Last night's harm was not just to men. My wife, my lovely wife, was going out for groceries, minding her own business when she was brutally attacked, a poor innocent victim.
The mayor motions to a woman sitting down beside him. It is the wild using her hair as a whip minx from last night, now in a pilgrim dress, hair demurred into ponytails. Selina and some other women around her simultaneously cough out in a suppressed laugh.
We must thank the valiant efforts of the Cult of Good, who did much to contain madness, especially in light of deaths of other superhero teams over the past years in St. Louis and Atlanta. As we speak, Captain God is following up more important leads.
Trying to get a bead, Selina glances to Lane sliding up to her, then over across to Brock. They both smile out, responding eye contact.
I'm told there's quite the solar eclipse happening this afternoon, so we should probably keep things moving. No one has been more eloquent about the nightmare facing us than Dr. Penelope Snuggle, author of the Catwoman Complex.
Frank pokes up, leaning to the mic. He holds up a vivid rainbow-colored flyer. Now, before we bring Penny out, I just want to remind everyone that tonight's big mystery promotion at the Fun Palace has not been postponed. I hope we can all come together as a community and have some, you guessed it, get fun. Yeah, all right, Doctor.
Thank you, Franklin. I can only hope to have some lessons that were learned last night, that female power only caused unhappiness, ugliness.
Selina rolls her eyes. She flees the offensiveness at the podium, beelining to a door marked ladies. Interior ladies' room day. Selina enters into the vast, briefly seen earlier bathroom lounge area. She moves to the mirror, and the door is pushed shut behind her. It's spooky. Selina remains calm as she approaches.
You're the one. I thought I told you to stay hidden behind the couch, Cat. Torn the unit apart. You've driven a great leader insane.
You gonna talk all day?
Pulling out her Catwoman outfit from her seemingly too small purse, Selina drifts into a stall. Spooky goes into another. Interior main casino area, eclipse, dusk. Penelope builds to an insufferable crescendo.
Let's face it, this whole strong woman thing has been done to death. A woman doesn't need to go through the pain of finding herself. She needs only to be found. I say let him do the work. Let him all those, what do you call them, life experiences. Oh, here comes the eclipse. Don't look up.
The viewer's viewpoint tips up to the grand skyline above. The moon begins to edge before the sun. Interior ladies' room. Selina emerges from the stall in her Catwoman outfit at the same time that Spooky emerges. Dark hair running over her shoulders, Spooky has taken off her hood and has unstrapped her breasts. Without directly looking at each other, the women do some last-minute primping in the bathroom mirror, followed by some casual calisthenics. Then,
Nice breasts.
Thanks.
Spooky swings out her leg for a direct hit into Catwoman's head. Catwoman counters with an elbow to the stomach, immediately followed by another elbow, coming around to hit Spooky's bent-over head. They expertly swat, parry, and thrust. Sun disappearing outside the window, giving up the admirable martial artwork, Selina and Spooky get primal. They claw into each other in a violent parody of their recent dance. They swing into a spine-to-spine position, grappling into the other's face and hair. Two superior scowling women stroll into the lounge.
Well, would you look at that? Catwoman #1. She's not so tough. I'm more of a Catwoman than that poser could ever be.
Oh, I'm so sick of you thinking you're better than everybody. I'm a better Catwoman than either one of you.
You want a piece of me?
Scowling women exchange scowls and pull Catwoman outfits from their purses, banging into separate stalls. The civilian versions of the copycat women moseys in with a friend. She immediately bristles at the sight of Catwoman and Spooky crashing into the bathroom mirror.
That bitch stole my whip.
Interior casino main area. Another crash is heard, along with a couple well-placed screeches. The sun coming down from the skylight begins to completely evaporate. By some warped radar, women rise from their tables and drift to the dance floor, towards the door to the ladies' room. Catwoman outfits are torn from purses in quick elliptical montage, and the moon is halfway over the sun. Catwomen of all kinds burst from the stalls in a quick montage. Finally, two designer-dressed Catwomen emerge from side-by-side stalls in the same exact outfit. They look to their own ensemble and then to each other, then angrily lunge at each other. Interior, full view of the lounge. The vast lounge is now crammed with raging Catwomen, both familiar and unfamiliar. IDs hanging out, the Catwomen feed into each other, separating themselves into violent squabbling, scratching, clawing, and bitch-slapping clusters. Catwoman and Spooky remain the battling centerpiece.
Ow, 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 ow. Can't you understand? I got tired of being a woman. I wanted the respect that only a cape, boots, a chest plate, and a mechanical spear can bring.
You're not strong. You're scared. Scared that someone like me will see right through you. Whatever the cult of good was, it's not anymore. You don't have to listen to me. Just listen to you.
A dress for success executive cat crosses claws with a housewife cat.
Ah,
Did you just say girls?
yes, the real girls have no idea what to go through.
Cool, great, Travis. White leathered Kelly Cat and Didi-Tabby swing before Esmeralda and her tiaraed cat ensemble.
Well, 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 look who thinks she's a Catwoman.
You're one of us when it's night, but during the day, you're the cruelest exploiter of all.
I'm afraid of your minimum wage morons.
Openly screeching, the Fun Palace trio tear into each other. A beautiful model Catwoman is fending off an attack from the twin overweight Catwomen.
I don't have to apologize for my beauty.
We're not asking you to apologize.
We're asking you to scream in pain.
A repressed Catwoman is dunking the bikini Mardi Gras Catwoman into the sink.
You slut. You're a snoot.
Oh, no.
What? I'm a sleut, so what's
What?
it to you?
Two Catwoman sisters are pounding on each other.
Stop it.
Oh, the little princess can't take it. Admit it, Mom loves you more.
Who could blame her?
Interior of the main casino area. The rays of the sun drain away from the skylight, completely abandoned by the female sex. The men in the room uncomfortably fidget in classic waiting for the girlfriend to come out of the bathroom mode. They mosey towards each other with amiable half smiles.
Women, huh?
The men animatedly nod and mumble semi-audible approval. An average Joe pipes up.
Anybody see the game last night?
Oh, yeah, it was excellent. Revving into a tribal ritual, the men release their tensions, magnetizing into a robust semicircle around the average Joe.
Fourth quarter, Pacers down by 14. No chance, right? Right! Wrong!
The moon completely suffocates the sun in a perfect eclipse. Enter the ladies' room. The feline frenzy continues. The mayor's Rapunzel wife is back in her savage state, violently whipping around her hair. Repressed Catwoman and Mardi Gras Catwoman still jostle by the sink.
You know, men only go out with you because of the provocative way you dress.
At least go out with me.
Men go out with me in theory.
Cousins don't
Who
count.
says?
The elderly Catwoman launches a kick at the young Catbride.
You young people have no respect.
Yeah, well, you're old.
Catwoman and Spooky ever so slightly halt their fisticuffs to take in the havoc they've created. Then go back to battle.
I'm a good mother.
You mean Consuela is a good mother?
How did you know our nanny's name is Lucky Guess?
What's the name of your child's best friend?
Ask me another one.
The nun Catwoman is pinning the all-redhead Catwoman to the ground.
I'm telling you, I'm not your husband's mistress. I'm a lesbian.
Oh, that's just like something she'd say.
The twin overweight Catwoman are shoving a club sandwich into the model Catwoman's mouth.
Eat.
Eat!
Interior main casino area. In sweating desperate denial of the hormonal explosion a door away, the men happily hang upon the enthusiastic yarn ESPNing of the average Joe.
Again, he misses both free throws. Coach is on the bench. You're freaking out, right? You're 5 minutes ago. They had this game one, and now?
Penelope Snuggle, in a snit, cuts before the men.
This madness must end once and for all.
She marches into the lounge doors. Average Joe continues.
Okay, so now 2 seconds left, Miller. The perfect open court steal runs to 3-point country. And
Penelope comes flying out on her back, scratched and covered in stray bits of fur. Men are completely silenced as she twitches in epileptic terror. Interior ladies' room. Sanity to the wind, the large, now eerily shadowy lounge has been completely swallowed by the most multi-layered, full-throttle cat fight in the history of cinema. The women totally communicate in cat screeches, all human capabilities on hold. Interior main casino area. At a neglected table, Lane somberly sits himself down at the side of a cool Brock. Without looking at each other, the men stare at the lounge door, speaking with double meanings and impossible to gauge expressions.
Women, huh?
They do take their time. So, Selina Kyle.
Selina Kyle, lovely person.
She has a real spirit.
A bit on the suspicious side, don't you think?
She has reason to be suspicious, doesn't she?
I suppose she does.
Catwoman and the unmasked Spooky suddenly come careening out, slamming right on the table in a vicious mutual deathlock. The two men watch calmly without intervention. The female pair go shattering out a window.
I better go report this in.
Oh, you don't have to explain to me where you're going.
The rest of the Catwomen tidal wave out of the ripping from its hinges ladies' room door, taking over the floor in a spectacular ballet of violence. The men gape. Exterior outside the casino. Sprawled on their backs in the puddle glass, Spooky gives Catwoman an enough already backhand, knocking her unconscious. Spooky dashes off. Inside, the cat commotion rages on. Losing it, the men rip out their gold cards from another mad dash for the Gentlemen's Club. The gridlock proves too great. So many wailing Y chromosomes change direction and roar out the frenetically sliding back and forth front door into the night. The moon eases halfway out from the sun in the longest eclipse of all time. Exterior of the town hall. Spooky pans into the darkened by lack of sun town square. Captain God is waiting for her.
Here we go. I want out of tonight's mission. I can't do it anymore, Captain. I can't let innocent people die to prove our superiority. I can't.
Just like a woman, you want out. You're out.
Brutus and Cassius to Spooky Caesar, Adonis and Cactus bound from the shadows to surprise attack the exhausted Spooky. They bash her with blunt instruments, then rush back into the darkness. Her white compact spear device is knocked from her person, dribbling away down the street.
Why are you? I fought for you with honor. Why should it matter if I'm a man or a woman as long as I'm a good warrior?
Of course it matters. It throws off everything. Superhero is manhood's highest achievement. Manhood. Your dirty little secret has diseased us to the core. My buddy, my comrade. Women aren't buddies. Women aren't warriors. You tried to turn the cult of good into some after-work softball team. It's time to get thrown from the treehouse.
The other do-gooders charge out again, but this time she energizes to fire her fists out on the outflanked one-armed Cactus. One leg firmly planted, Spooky tips the rest of her body upside down to slam Adonis into the ground with her back heel, a famous maneuver of the renowned Hong Kong actress Michelle Khan. Hint, hint. Coming out of that show-off move, she gets hit by Captain God, toppled by a painful headbutt from the helmet. The white spear object continues to roll across the pavement, clacking into the street. Catwoman picks it up. She looks up to see Spooky collapse against Captain God.
I loved you.
I know.
Pre-firing sounds are heard. Spooky slumps down away from Captain God. He lifts his smoking finger and blows it.
Did you hear that? Spooky loved you.
Yeah, pretty gross. Hurry, we've got work to do.
Freak. As his partners rush off, Adonis pivots back to give Spooky a last kick. Turning back around, he faces Catwoman, who angrily slams the white device into Adonis's mouth and leans forward in a seething whisper.
Spear.
A harsh twanging sound effect, a muffled moan, and Catwoman's blown-away expression tells the viewer the spear has just sprung open in Adonis's mouth. Moving out for a wider glimpse, Adonis lurches away, the spear completely bursting through both of his cheeks. Don't worry, his back is turned to the grateful viewer. Catwoman rushes to Spooky.
I heard what you said, Spooky. I can't believe he shot you.
Men, huh?
From the pouch at her waist, Spooky tugs up a small, strange chunk of gold and presses it into Catwoman's paw.
When the time comes.
For when the yeah, thanks. A little gold piece of gold.
And I
Uh,
want you to know our secrets.
Spooky next tugs out a computer disk and puts it in Catwoman's baffled hand.
That's... Oh no, not a computer disk. A computer disk? Oh man, come on. What do I look like? I'm not a crime fighter. I'm not a detective. What? I'm supposed to find some clues on this disk? I can't.
The mission is happening tonight. It's up to you to save the city.
Save the city? I don't want to save the city. I want to move. Listen, I'm sure the computer disk is pretty fascinating, and I can't thank you enough for the little weird gold thingy. But
You know my name's not Spooky. It's Rachel.
hello, Rachel. I'm Selina.
And joyously, Spooky dies. Catwoman shudders. The uneclipsing sun begins to blaze a perfectly lined wave of light across the town square. Catwoman springs away from it in terror. She runs out of the remaining darkness of the frame. The sun rolls completely over Spooky's body. Exterior outside Frank's Fun Palace. In a completely silent Max exodus, back to their messily tugged back on civilian clothes, bruised from the outside and the inside, the ex-Catwomen of Oasisburg stagger out from the Fun Palace into the shining light. The men of Oasisburg rise from cowering positions on the casino grounds. Everyone wordlessly connects up and walks forward into the sun. Interior library day. The sun shimmers through the big glass window of the stalled library. Casually dressed, but seriously expressioned, Selina is scrunched in a cubicle work area in glasses. She puts the disc into a computer. The black cat watches from Selina's lap.
Okay, what do you got? This better be bad.
Words vividly flash across the screen. Mission 1, codename The Gatekeepers of Justice. Location, Atlanta.
Mission 1, the Gatekeepers of Justice, Atlanta. I'm sorry, it's not like you can't read it yourself.
Selina hits a button, unleashing a precise stream of computer graphics. The viewer zooms through the schematic doors of a virtual museum. The next images are the paintings disappear off the walls. The viewer is then drawn to the graphics of a bomb in the mock museum. The virtually created museum blows up. Spooky's voice takes everyone through it.
Report attack on museum. Steal artwork yourself. Blow up everything, including you. Press C for museum blueprint. Press D for security system access codes.
Okay, how spooky. Let's see what's in the next chapter.
More enigmatic words. Mission number 2, codename The Awesome Power Squad. Location, St. Louis. A rush of images move over Selina's glasses.
Same drill with a bank, steal everything, blow it up. Dare I say the words, I see a pattern.
The next words are Mission 3, codename Cult of Good. Location, Oasisburg.
I really see a pattern.
The next images are scrambled up.
No fair. Come on. Must come online at the time of the mission. But we don't have the time, Miss Kitty. Something is being stolen and something's being destroyed in Oasisburg tonight. But who are the gatekeepers of justice? And blow yourselves up? I guess that's the whole fake death thing. Keyword being guessed. What am I doing here?
A nerd-esque library clerk moseys up to a strange woman talking to her cat.
I'm sorry, ma'am. There are no pets allowed in the library.
But I'm blind.
It's seeing eye dogs, ma'am. If I let the cat stay, will you go out with me?
What if I say I'll go out with you so you can have all these great daydreams, but then I never actually talk to you again?
Okay, deal?
I'll go out with you. Now give me these old newspapers.
Enter another section of the library later. Selina slams out the back issues of the Atlanta Constitution across the wide library table. The cat hops up beside it. The newspaper shows the aftermath of the museum explosion with the obvious headline: Museum explosion, treasures lost, 28 dead, 5 of them superheroes. Selina para murmurs.
Completely destroying the museum, valuable artwork lost forever, blah, blah. Since the superheroes had secret identities, no medical records to identify, more blah, blah. Burned capes, severed arm found at the scene.
Selina crashes down into a chair and turns to a page of a large picture captured in memorial, the gatekeepers of justice, that shows the familiar current members of the cult of good in a different set of uniforms with spooky capitalized names like Mr. Big, Mammoth, Mr. Strange, Spooky, Mr. Handsome, Adonis. It'd be easy for the viewer to see the charade.
Recognize anybody, Miss Kitty? Same deal with St. Louis and the awesome Power Squad, no doubt.
Selina flickers a glance to a St. Louis newspaper that shows the cult of good in yet another kind of costumage, with a notable leader named the Mighty Helmeted One. The headline reads, "They will be missed."
These so-called superheroes are modern-day pirates. Ruthless Viking mercenaries who go from major city to major city, secretly trashing and pillaging away as good guys. They eventually get bored and end their excursions by grandly faking their own deaths while at the same time pulling off a world-class heist. How easy is this detective stuff? I know. I still don't know where the big Oasisburg attack is going to be tonight, but I'm telling you. Oh, would you look at that? Merry Christmas. There is a God, and his name is Brock.
Selina looks down at a stray page of an Atlanta newspaper. It's a photo of Brock Leviathan in a hard hat, cutting a ribbon for the opening of one of his creations. Selina growls in triumph.
Brock Leviathan. In Atlanta, the same time as the psycho superheroes. 2 + 2 equals I got you. I got you. Finally, I know who to drop and who to date. Finally, darn.
Obliviously relaxing, the black cat stretches its nails to a picture of Lewis Lane, writer of the Atlanta newspaper column.
You too. That's it.
Selina rips up her whining cat and bolts from the cubicle. Interior casino late afternoon. Still in civilian clothes, Selina stands in the dealer's position at a card table. Brock Leviathan and Lewis Lane sit across from her. They calmly watch her wildly, expertly shuffle a deck. She makes Brock cut, then shuffles some more. She leans over with one hand, flutters the deck into the air.
Selina, are you okay?
Yes, did you call us here for any particular reason?
Tonight, somewhere in the city, innocent people will die.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
sorry,
not
my
one.
bad.
Tonight, somewhere in the city, innocent people will die. But then one of you knows that, for one of you is a vicious pirate terrorist posing as the beloved superhero Captain God.
What did you say? Selina, sit down. The entire city is going crazy. You have to just calm down.
Hey, architect, she's joking, right, Selina? Selina?
That's my name. Don't wear it out or I'll make you buy me a new one. I'm not joking, though. This will come as a shock again to one of you. I'm Catwoman. The Catwoman.
Both men recoil in requisite dismay. Selina intensely scans from one to the other, unsuccessfully gauging a giveaway reaction.
Not bad.
Again,
Why
that's
do you
not your
keep
line.
stealing my line?
Sorry, I keep saying sorry.
Anyway, that's not bad.
Telling the truth, I can tell. How did this?
Well, some reporter I am. All this time, my story is right there in front. I have a lot of questions.
Fine, fine. At a later date, I'll be more than happy to talk about my preferred psychological complexities with the one who's not a creep. But for now, I'm drilling inside your brains. I bring up the whole Catwoman thing for one reason. I bit Captain God in the hand, and the next day you both show up equipped with big band-aids and wobbly excuses. My grandfather is inventing a new kind of blender.
You're kidding.
But it's true, you can call him yourself.
Lose the smile, Mr. Good Reflexes. We were having a pretty okay time the other night. Good food, good conversation. Some Catwomen show up and it's, you need cab fare? I gotta go to my hideout. I'm sorry, I mean warehouse.
Not too cool.
Then there's you, Lewis, sneaking through back alleys and surprise visiting me at my home. Both of you have been way too frisky from the get-go. I'm actually a pretty amazing person. Funny, smart, attractive when I get my sleep, but you two had no way of knowing that. When I met you both, I was basically a morose, depressed amnesiac incapable of any human feeling. The only reason one of you wanted to go out with me is because you knew I was Catwoman.
You're right. I wasn't looking to fall in love with a casino worker, but I'd given up trying to find anyone. But there's a fire in your eyes that cut right through the air conditioning and through the coldness of my heart.
Your uniform, that first time I saw you was ghastly cage. I vowed to unlock in order to.
Stop. You're both making me nauseous. I have a computer disk that shows the cult of good under different names goes from city to city, faking their own deaths while committing major heists and killing innocent people. Their first city was Atlanta. So you can imagine my surprise when I read that the two most eligible bachelors in the city at the time were none other than you and you.
Both men contort in a vague, gulping twitch.
You know, now that I hear myself tell it, I'm thinking maybe both of you are messing with me. What, you get the helmet Monday through Thursday and then Brock takes it for the weekend?
Okay, let's get serious. Of course, I know the cult of good is not good ever since I saw what they did in Atlanta. It's been my mission to expose them. I followed them to Oasisburg, and soon we'll have enough hard evidence to bring them to real justice. Uh, to real just that computer disk could be the final piece of the puzzle. This isn't just a story, Selina, another damn puzzler. This is my life.
It's a Pulitzer.
Yeah. Lane pants at a noble stop. Selina nods, impressed. They both slowly, suspiciously turn to Brock. Brock's face comes out of his hands.
We're waiting.
Quiet blender boy. I told you from the beginning, Selina, I'm not a very good liar. I am not Captain God or whatever else he may be calling himself this month, but when I find out who is, the man will pay. My sister died in that missile attack. And check the Atlanta obituaries. I've tracked these monsters from city to city, waiting for a time to exact my revenge. Why else would I come to Oasisburg and create the most obnoxious casino in the world?
Did you ever think that maybe neither of us is Captain Good? God?
No. You know, questions like that don't help your cause.
I still can't get over it. I still can't believe you're Catwoman.
I can. That's an admission of guilt. It's just I knew you had it in you.
It may be time to get the police involved.
Have you seen the Oasisburg police? They drive golf carts with little red sirens.
We have to do something. What can we do to help, Selina?
I'll let you know.
Overcome with emotion, fear, love, anger, utter confusion, Selina trembles into a bite of her lip. She then suddenly, dramatically lunges across the table and vividly kisses both men, one by one, with a passion they can only barely handle.
I love you. One of you.
Selina storms off. The stunned men, not looking at each other, shudder for a moment, then rise off in opposite directions. Interior the hut, dusk. Selina blusters into her hut and snarls to her cat. As she runs a pacing half circle, the wall of the hut behind her begins to very slowly, then less slowly, crackle into flames.
Don't ask. It was a stupid idea. I'm so not a crime fighter. What was I expecting? That one of them would just say, "Oh, now that you asked, I'm the man who did all those evil things." The minute I left the casino, he probably walked to a payphone to call the hideout and say,
The black cat leaps through the window. The smoking embers of the hut begin to flare up into a full-fledged flamage as Cactus and Adonis trudge in behind Selina, who finally takes it all in. Cactus's new arm looks like a real one, only it's 3 times too big for his body. Ugly Adonis has 2 severe bandages on the spear-caused holes in his cheeks. His voice is now a cross between Nell and a walrus.
"What took you so long, boys? Where's God?" Man, you must hate me.
He's asking you where's the computer disk.
Selina wearily snickers, then bolts to the chest and flings it open, frantically rummaging around.
It was here. Where is...
Adonis yanks Selina by the hair and heaves her from the hut. Selina soars out and skids across the dirt. Cactus and Adonis tear through the belongings in the hut, in and around the chest, but the heat is too great. Selina bounds up and races over to her motorcycle. She frantically guns it. Nothing happens. Cactus rips her off. The hut collapses in a whoosh. Selina gives it a sad glance.
Where is it?
I'm not kidding. I put the disc in the chest. I don't know why it's not...
Oh, that's a good one, dude. He says we're gonna kill you whether you tell us where the disc is or not.
I know your boss. If you killed me without him, he's gonna be really angry.
Got a point.
Hey, Adonis. Spear!
Adonis jolts, touching up to his cheeks. Selina laughs. Cactus tosses her the Catwoman outfit, and she catches it.
You'll need this. Now, how'd you like to help me break into my new arm?
Whatever.
Selina folds her arms and closes her eyes. Cactus swings back a Popeye punch and a fake colossal arm and punches it right at the viewer. Interior of the hideout. Selina's face aches into consciousness, in the Catwoman outfit. Pulling out, it's revealed Catwoman is hanging in the air from the ceiling of the hideout like a brilliant mobile. Flexible red cords tug separately at each one of her hands and each one of her legs. With outraged cat squeal, she tries to untangle.
What little performance you gave in the casino today for me and that other guy. Come on down, let's chat.
I got her.
Materializing below her, Captain God fires his mighty remote control. The 4 cords simultaneously snap, and Catwoman dives from the air. With intentionally comic feebleness, Cactus holds out his arms. Catwoman slams into the ground a foot in front of him. The unbudging Cactus laughs it up as Catwoman painfully pries herself up.
Sorry, what happened to that whole landing on your feet thing?
I don't know where the disc is. I swear I put it...
I'm not going to worry about it. We are quite beyond the computer disk. Everything will be over within the next hours.
Yeah,
Adonis, be polite. She's a friend.
How can you say things with such feeling and then turn around and put on a helmet and... Who are you? Were you sitting on my right or my left at the card table? Tell me. Please tell me who you are. You owe me that.
I know, I should probably tell you, but I just don't feel like it. To be honest, I'm really angry. I admired you so much more when you were purely wicked. I mean, look at you now, running around trying to get to the bottom of things, trying to save the city. It's true we're about to do a very nasty deed, but really, what's it to you? Since when do you care what happens to a bunch of pathetic Oasisburgians? You're just not yourself anymore.
You know nobody likes you.
Yeah, all those women who went feline this afternoon, they're so ashamed now.
I'm supposed to be taking personality tips from you 3. You people were once heroes. You had ideals. You fought for things. Spooky told me so.
Do you have any idea how much superheroes get paid? Zilcher. Urban vigilantes with secret identities operating outside the law. Not exactly the stuff of a W-2 form. If it wasn't for merchandising and corruption and these diabolical missions, there is no such thing as heroes and villains anymore, Selina. There are only winners and losers. You lost. We won.
Car wash, Captain?
Absolutely.
Adonis pulls the earlier seen lever and the floor opens. The viewers get a small glimpse of what looks to be a traditional car wash. Adonis and Cactus tear the battered Catwoman down the small set of steps and stuff her into a very small red car at the end of the line.
I'd love to stay and watch, but there's always last-minute stuff that needs to be taken care of before a big catastrophic heist. Adonis, put it on video so I can watch it later when I'm feeling more relaxed. Oh, if for some reason the damsel undistresses herself and she makes it out of that contraption, do me a favor. Shoot her with this gun.
Captain God hands Adonis a very traditional handgun. He and Cactus head out. Hefting a video camera over his shoulder, Adonis presses the button marked car wash. With a loud whining noise, the car wash gears into action. The car jolts forward, wheels traditionally harnessed in a moving track. In the car, Catwoman frantically looks around, then quickly rolls up the window. Nozzles on both sides of the car spew acid that sizzle into the side of the car. Adonis nods a not bad nod, walking along the car from above. You remember to roll up the window. Moving in and out of the driver's POV, the viewer huddles with Catwoman in the car. Soap suds and water hit the car as it passes beneath the familiar car wash curtain of fabric straps.
Well, once you get past the acid, this car wash isn't so bad.
Suddenly, buzzing buffers uncoil out from the sides, but they're not made of brush. They're spinning steel spikes that proceed to rend the car, shredding through the doors, tearing into Catwoman's leg. Adonis chuckles, tugging out and speaking into a cell phone in his non-camera holding hand. No, I'm fine, really. It's just a temporary setback. I'm back on the runway real soon. The car and the snarling but game Catwoman continue to be monitored forward towards the next curtain of hanging snakes. The sunroof above Catwoman automatically squeaks open.
Oh, come on. Snakes? That's just rude.
Just as the curtain of snakes dribbles to the sunroof, Catwoman does a backward somersault through the back windshield of the car. She slithers down to the top of the trunk and lands right on the track, with which locks both of her feet in. Adonis gives a curious narrow of his eyes at the proceedings below, and then continues his cordless chat. But if you go to the left half of close now, in the helpless enforced standing position, Catwoman rattles down the track, a vehicle all by herself. Another more vast than all buffer of steel spikes thunders in an up and down motion ahead. It comes down on the now empty car and completely churns it to hell. Selina is next. Catwoman unzips a little zipper on her leg and fingers out the last of her lethally shaved ballerina figurines. She harshly wings the mini weapon at a constellation of wires at the side of the car wash proper. The wires spark. Adonis's face drops, snapping shut the cellular, wavering up his gun. I want to call you back. The spikes ahead grind to a non-spinning halt, but the apparatus continues to slam up and down. Catwoman claw picks her locked-in feet that then lurches forward. Using the up-and-down chugging apparatus of a stalled spike as a trampoline, Catwoman does a dainty bounce until up into a face-to-face with a momentarily too stunned to shoot Adonis. Catwoman effortlessly bats the gun away, then grabs Adonis by his cape, retching him into the ferocious drag up the hideout staircase. The viewer moves in on Adonis's clambering head. Wow, is ruining my career enough for you? What do you think you're doing? You want to go out with me? Is that it? Hey, you're hurting me!
Oh, calm down. You're already dead.
The viewer inhales out to see the Catwoman has pulled Adonis to his disembodied power pack and has tied his cape to it. She flicks a switch. With a mighty explosive whoosh, the power pack rockets into the air, yanking Adonis with it. Both man and pack go hurling out of a hole in the roof and into the alley and then back up towards the stairs. Shooting upwards with a video camera, Catwoman cackles up to the comet, then stops.
I guess I should have asked what's the name of the place they'll be robbing tonight. Stupid corn dog.
Catwoman suddenly realizes she's wet and goes into a shaking wail of discomfort. Interior of the alley behind the casino. Catwoman clambers out of the hole into the hideout and wipes herself off. The young boy she earlier traumatized skips down the alley with a new Game Boy. He stops with a body-racking quiver.
Hi, Don't scream, please. It's okay. I won't hurt you. I'm a good guy now, I swear. Shh.
Catwoman!
Wait, little boy, come back.
The young boy wails away. Catwoman tries to feebly reach out and call after him, and she gives chase, panting at the edge of the alley. She watches the little boy slam down a red Cult of Good call button on the corner. The melodic alarm fills the air, and as the yelping boy points over in her direction, lollygagging in the street townspeople quake in communal rage, coalescing in a Burton-esque angry mob. They charge.
I don't like where this is going.
Catwoman backs into the alley, hitting a tarp. Atop the tarp is a note that simply says Selina in feminine handwriting. Catwoman rips off the tarp, revealing her awesome, if previously impotent, motorcycle. She swings into a straddle of the bike and sighs, reaching for the ignition.
Please.
The Oasisburgians stampede forward. The motorcycle suddenly does a ferocious, growling Moses Red Sea rip through the would-be lynch mob. Exterior Oasisburg Street. From out of nowhere, the motorcycle does a sensational low-to-the-ground sidewind around a corner. The people on the promenade jerk back their children and themselves in terror. The viewer gets a first clear, dead-on, wild one view of the burning forward Catwoman. She can't help but bark a feral cheer. She speeds up in a puttering cart before her and giddily rides over it. Enter the police station. Below, Catwoman thunders past the police station. The chief calls back from the window.
Calling all carts. Savage is loose. Repeat.
Exterior Main Street. The townspeople frantically jostle each other in their escape from the streets. Echoing their first bump, Brock Leviathan and Lewis Lane bang into each other. They sneer at another, rolling towards the mouth of the alley.
I've been looking for you.
I've been looking for you. Selina Kyle was right. One of us is a psychotic crusader.
But then we knew that all along, didn't we?
I guess we did. When you were a little boy, did you want to be a superhero?
What little boy doesn't?
Realizing they're alone in the alley, the men go silent. They suddenly rush towards each other. Brock heaves 2 heavy blows into Lane's stomach, doubling him over, but the reporter then swings back with a deft martial art chop to Brock's neck, sending the architect to the ground. Exterior, down the road, the cat cycle comes spectacularly plowing through a "You're on vacation, justice is not" billboard. Catwoman locks sight on the roadblock of flickering siren police golf carts that has been tentatively set up.
A roadblock? Guys, you drive golf carts.
Catwoman arcs her hog into the middle cart, shearing off its top. Landing hard, she violently nails another cop car, rolling into her path on the right. The cart crumples, the cat does not, as the motorcycle does bumper car bash into another oncoming squad car and keeps going. The cops wind around and give chase, firing their weapons. The TV news helicopter thunders from above. Its POV shows a triangulating squadron of golf carts giving Simpson Bronco-esque chase to the buzzing Catwoman. Interior casino. Didi and Kelly look up to the casino screen with concern. Interior housewife's kitchen. The working-class housewife sets out pigs in a blanket for her bickering children. Looking to the fuzzy image on the table's cheap portable TV, the housewife opens a drawer revealing her Catwoman outfit. Then she closes it. Interior mayor's bedroom. With her husband frantically working the lines in the background, the mayor's wife turns from the TV coverage to a Stepford stare in the mirror. With an ivory comb, she combs her potentially wild Rapunzel hair into submission. Interior radio station. DJ Oink turns from a TV station and to hit the airwaves. Oh, she's dead meat now. I can't usually like the taste of cat, but this day it's pretty fried. I'm taking exception. Interior high school girl's bedroom. The high school girl closes her closet with her hanging kitten costume. Boy, it looks like Catwoman could really use some help. Thank God she's not going to get it, or should I say thank Captain God. Interior yuppie bar. The female executives turn from the radio at the end to the yuppie bar. She gives a sheepish glance to the cat suit in her purse and then closes it. You gotta wonder, where are all the other Catwomen, you know? That's loyalty for you, huh? Interior at the home of the world's dullest couple. Back behind their TV tray, the world's dullest couple listen to the radio in a lifeless tableau. The dull wife momentarily rises from her chair, then sits back down. Must be back home, doing the 2 things women do best, cowering in fear and vacuuming. And God bless America. Exterior back in the main street. Catwoman wildly weaves the motorcycle side to side, avoiding Oasisburg PD artillery. She sees back a look, then darts faster forward. The superhero van bulldozes out from a side street to a side swipe the cat cycle in a mind-numbing sliding scrape into a lamppost. Captain God and Cactus smoothly bang out to a cocky LA motor cop walk to their victim. The squadron of the cop carts squeal to a place as a media truck.
Ah, the good guys always triumph in the end. It's what allows our children to sleep at night.
You can't get away with.
The perpetrator seems to be a bit on the wild side.
I'll put that in the report after you shoot her.
Cactus raises up a gun. It's shot from his hands. All spin to a line of National Guard soldiers standing along the tank, along with the mayor and the chief of police.
I've realized so much on new superheroes that I cut the police budget in half. That's why I had to call in the National Guard.
We're handling the situation. The National Guard? For her? It gotta be.
We're not for her, for you, the cult of good.
I, the city's most noble and humble servant, am troubled by your strange tone of voice.
I've always heard rumors about you people secretly running the underground and launching behind my back. A loyal citizen has come forth with a very interesting computer disk that shows that under the Gotham Protecting Society, your permeated secret acts of terrorism, including one that was to occur this evening.
The earlier seen Catwoman, in the most stunning and flamboyant costume of all, saunters forward holding the disc. What the viewer was not sure about before, the viewer is sure of now. It's Selina's mom. Catwoman is, needless to say, blown away. The crowd twitters with confusion.
In the name of justice.
In the name of... This is an outrage. A mockery of all that is... You're going to believe a Catwoman over me, Captain God?
I have a very interesting newspaper clippings as well. I should remind you the guard uses artillery that pierces body armor.
Computer disk and some grubby newspapers, that's it. And all my years of crime fighting, I never...
Captain God and Cactus both make a sudden break back to the van. The van thunders off, but not for long. The National Guard tank booms a shell into the wheels, completely upending it. Before anybody can get their bearings from the majestic crash, Captain God bursts from the back of the van holding a bazooka. He howls through the voice box. The National Guard and everybody else in the neighborhood open fire. Captain wildly vibrates and Bonnie and Clyde dance before crumpling in a heap. Catwoman rushes up to kneel before the body, allowing herself a well-deserved dramatic pause. She reaches to the back of the helmet and unlatches it. Staring up at her is the very serene Lois Lane. Catwoman staggers back in a daze.
Wow, would you look at that? Captain God is a Pulitzer Prize winning news reporter from the Oasisburg Times, Lois Lane.
Media, police, and a deliriously curious citizenry swarm around the body. Catwoman batters through the crowd to sadly hyperventilate. Her cat mom touches out to her.
You knew him?
I guess not.
No, the points were fused on your distributor, the motorcycle. Why it wasn't running.
Oh. Hey, thanks.
Before mother and daughter can really connect, a police officer calls out from behind the van.
Cactus has escaped through the sewer.
Catwoman steps forward with curiosity, as does the police chief and the mayor to regard the open manhole. Catwoman turns back to see Catmom slink off. Catwoman's eyes then dart to Brock Leviathan in the midst of the traditional romantic thrust through the crowd of love to the love of your life. Catwoman drifts forward to meet him, melting into his arms. She touches up the bruise on his face. Interior Brock Leviathan's mansion living room. On the couch by a crackling fire, Selina dabs at Brock's bruise with a washcloth while he is taping up her wrist. They stop their sexy mutual doctoring to take wine from a tray held by the leaning over butler Jeff.
What a pair we make. Thank you, Jeff.
A couple that battles the forces of evil together is a couple that stays together. Thank you, Jeff.
Oh, you're most welcome, Miss Kyle. I must say I haven't seen the master this happy in some time.
I'm jealous. Her bruises are much bigger than mine. It's not right.
Oh, now you put up a good fight. Let's change the subject. Where do people who live in Oasisburg go to get away from it all?
Somewhere very far away, very quiet, and very... This is all wonderful, Selina, but I'm afraid I cannot rest until all my sister's killers are brought to justice. That one-armed monster.
Brock motions to the muted TV screen, following an "If you have seen this man" picture of Cactus. Brock returns to the couch to slide a beautiful ring onto Selina's finger.
This ring belonged to my sister. I'd love for you to.
It would be an honor, Brock. Now let's go get this guy.
Serious? You'd help me?
Selina tugs Brock with her up off the couch.
In many ways, that obnoxious creep Cactus was the worst one of all. He got off on giving out pain.
We'll hunt him down together.
Brock, I can't believe it's taken you so long to invite me up to the house. Where'd you keep your opener?
Cactus, a towel around his neck, casually enters the room, swinging a beer. The beat of total disbelief. Then Brock viciously backhands Selina onto the couch. She believes. Breaking from his stiff Michael Goff pose, Butler Jeff pins a struggling Selina to the couch, pulling out a syringe. He enthusiastically bites off and spits the rubber tip, then slams the syringe into Selina's arm.
Oh, she's a feisty one, sir.
Thank you, Jeff. When you're through with the needle, go get a body bag.
Jeff departs. As Selina stiffens into catatonia on the couch, she seethes up at the glowering Brock.
I thought you said you weren't a very good liar.
I lied.
The cat is out of the bag.
So I guess you don't have a sister who died in the museum explosion?
No, that was actually the truth. Wrong place, wrong time. Stupid bitch.
Brock and Cactus wildly laugh. Selina gives off a gag, her entire body going numb. Her eyes are very much alive, though, flickering like mad. Brock briefly devolumes his mirth.
Lost all motor functions. The poison will kill you in 10 minutes.
Hey, speaking of wrong place, wrong time, Lewis Lane to the rescue.
Nice. We have a showdown in this alley, right?
Flashback montage. A montage of images show Brock rising up from being karate chopped to batter Lewis to the ground.
Little punk got in some good ones considering he's a writer, but then the inevitable.
A helmet is lowered onto Lane's bruised, spinning head, a bazooka connected to his glove.
Shoved him in my spare suit in case something got weird.
A view from inside the van of the Captain God-like Lane being pushed out before the National Guard.
Thanks to you, something got weird. And we needed a diversion for our great sewer escape.
Interior back in Brock's living room. The viewer is given the helplessly Selina chilling point of view as the two psychopaths hover above her.
Don't you feel so much better now that you know everything? Blink once for yes, twice for...
Boss, we better roll if we're gonna hit this place. Blow it up and make the fight.
Just hold on, I'm not done. There are two kinds of men in this world, Selina. In category A, you have me. In category B is everyone who wants to be in category A, but are too afraid, too weak.
As the howling men hustle off, Selina's black cat prowls in from the open window and begins nibbling at the point of injection on Selina's arm. With a jolly step, Butler Jeff re-enters the room, unfolding and unzipping a black body bag. He comes around the couch where Selina remains a deathly pale, unbudging blob.
If the dead could speak, what would they say?
Selina suddenly vaults up and wrenches Jeff by the throat, sending him crashing out the window.
I don't know. You tell me, Jeff.
Selina turns away from the window, down to her black cat. Having heroically sucked out Selina's poison, it lies lifeless on the ground. Selina gives her friend a last sad stroke. Suddenly, Kincaid the dog gallops into the room, snarling madly. Angrily bounding up, Selina lets loose with a savage feline wail that immediately stops Kincaid's heart. The dog keels to the carpet. Selina's mother marches into the room, giving the dead dog and the dead cat a brief, nonplussed glance. Completely and rightfully freaked out by everything in the world, Selina quivers.
Oh, Mom, I messed up.
What kind of name is Brock Leviathan?
I never thanked you. The arrow, the motorcycle, the computer disk. You're so different from what I... and so the same.
Yeah, I'm pretty amazing. You should see this. It came this evening.
Mom pulls up a video cassette and moves to the Leviathan VCR.
Oh, I still don't know how anybody works these things.
Putting on lens crafters, Mom crinkles her face, unsuccessfully poking some buttons. Sighing, Selina hits the remote. The image of Lane awkwardly, then comfortably addressing an unseen video camera comes on screen.
Selina, I've known Brock Leviathan. Come on, that name is the criminal in question since St. Louis, but I've never been able to get definite proof. I didn't confront him at the casino because I felt I might get hurt, but you made me realize that I've waited too long to put an end to this thing. I'm going out to find Leviathan right now.
Selina chokes up.
I've taken a couple karate classes, but there's a disturbingly good chance that I will be savagely murdered after all these guys do this for a living. In case you're now weeping over my noble, tragic death, you should know I knew you were a Catwoman almost from the start. The way you acted, some things you said. Well, that and your mask, I saw some pictures, and it really only covers your eyes. Your face is actually quite exposed. I'm not going to rage about it, but I just want you to know I loved Catwoman before. It was a cool thing to do. Oh, and another thing, this is my grandfather's blender. I told you this was insane.
Lane holds up a highly unusual blender. Selina does a bittersweet gulp.
I tell you, Mom, sometimes I think all the good men are gay or recently murdered.
Lane puts down the blender and picks up Frank's earlier seen rainbow-colored flyer.
Oh, last thing. I swear if it's true that I am a ghost right now and you feel up to avenging my death, I have an idea where the bad guys will going to complete their evil mission. Let's just say I found a flyer at the Cult of God's hideout, something about a big mystery promotion.
Selina bounds up into frame. Mom comes with her.
They're going to attack Frank's Fun Palace.
I hate it when you let your hair hang like that. You have such pretty eyes.
Mom, not now. I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do. You have to go rescue all those people.
But I'm not a hero. I'm nobody's heroine. I'm nothing. You've said so as much yourself so many times.
You always listen to what your mother says, Selena. Something you choose your life. Sometimes your life chooses you. Save the day.
I don't know if I can do it alone.
Trust me, you won't have to.
They lock for a serious, unsentimental hug. Selina rushes to a closet where her Catwoman outfit has been hung on a hanger. Selina snares it. She then tries to wrench off the ring that Brock gave her, but it won't budge. She bolts. Interior main area of the Fun Palace night. Completely recovered from the Catwomen, the casino has been nicely cleared out and cleaned up for the big promotion. Beneath a glass floor shaped like a diamond, in the middle of the casino is a dazzling dune of, you guessed it, diamonds. Tourists and townspeople of all persuasions giddily gape up, two machine gun-toting guards pace amid the rocks below. Yeah, that's right, folks. You're looking down at the most valuable collection of diamonds ever brought together in one place at one time.
Frank, this is a terrific promotion. A great way to calm everybody after all the strangeness.
People having a good time, all right. Just gotta remember to thank my architect, Brock Leviathan. This whole diamond thing was his idea. As if on cue, Captain God and Cactus roar through the Fun Palace doors on a motorcycle and speed car. Patrons hit the deck as the ex-heroes twist into the carpet-rending skid, and the mayor and Frank, a couple of hapless security men, charge forth only to be dispatched with quick, severe ninja hits. Twirling up his remote, God presses a button that causes omnipotent sheets of black metal to perfect fit smash down over every door and window in the joint. Glowing, zipping lines of electricity malevolently minnow across every wall. Where these black sheets of metal come from? How'd you do that?
I'm the guy who designed and built this building. As you can see, when we were building it, I put some goodies in to be used especially on this day. The great thing is I build it all to you.
But Brock Leviathan designed this place. Captain God reaches around and unhinges his helmet, pulling it completely off in a delighted exhale.
I know. Oh, it feels great to get that thing off. You have no idea how hot it gets in there.
But I thought Lewis Lane would...
Will you shut up?
Captain God, I used to look up to you as did all the kids. I taught at the youth center. If you could have seen the look on my own child's face when I told him his most bestest hero in the world was nothing more than
Get over it. I'm not a role model.
Brock clangs the angelic man into unconsciousness with a harsh swing of his helmet. The mayor clandestinely pushes his portable red Cult of Good button. Enter the police station night. The police chief casts a bemused eye at the flashing red Cult of Good light.
Doesn't everybody know there are no more heroes? Send a couple cars, see what it's about.
Interior casino night. Brock presses another button that causes a gigantic ventilation shaft grill and the area under the glass to lower to the ground. Another button press incites suctioning air from the gaping shaft hole to totally devour all the diamonds. The two machine gun toting guards are effortlessly vacuumed as well.
Every thief knew how much easier it is to rob a place that you've actually built. They'd all go to architecture school.
Exterior alley outside of the casino night. A humongous flex-line tube connects the building to a big black treasure chest. The tube quakes with the sound and movement of rumbling diamonds. Interior casino night. A would-be hero bites his lip and then takes a bounding leap at Cactus. You won't get away with this! Without turning to look, Cactus, with his mighty Popeye arm, fists the lunging skyward would-be hero in the gut, stopping him midair. He crumples in a heap. As Brock readdresses the crowd, Cactus moves up. Cactus moves to set up a very suave-looking digital bomb in the middle of the glass flute. Extending out of the bomb from all angles are wired sensor pads.
Anybody else want to get something off their chest before we get started?
Why'd you take off your helmet? Aren't you afraid of one of us reporting you to the police?
It's not like you're going to be picking me out of a lineup, sweet cakes. Bomb. Bomb. Okay, listen up, folks. There is a bomb on the glass that should be going off in 15 minutes or so. Take note of the sensor pads. They tell you that if you touch the glass around the bomb will go off. And of course, you can see the doors are electrified, so you can't get out.
I don't understand. To hear you say it, we're all gonna die.
Actually, Frank, you seem to understand it really well. I want to explain it to some of the others. There's some people in the back there.
See you on the other side, boss.
Cactus is lowering himself onto the floor through a small glass door beneath him, or behind him. He dashes through the mammoth open ventilation shaft hole. With his remote, Brock activates the bomb. 17, 1659, 1658, and straddles his motorcycle.
I hope you've led fulfilled lives because they're over. Use these last minutes wisely. Payphones in the back, call your babysitters and tell them to tell your children they're orphans. Go gamble the rest of your money. With your luck, you'll probably win, right? Kiss your loved ones goodbye. Kiss a stranger. And if it's okay with Frank, open bar. It's been real.
Brock revs his bike and blasts off. He remotes a soda pop machine and clings up to a clunking down a can of cola as he heads towards the door. He opens the front door, and as he zooms through, he backhand remotes the door back into its electrified fortress mode. Desperate citizens bolt to bang on the door and get maliciously buzzed back in cowering pain. Exterior of the alley next to the casino. Cactus cuts away through the flex line tube and tosses it away. He makes sure the big treasure chest, now full of diamonds, is properly locked and tight, then presses a button on the side. A massive black balloon inflates out of the top of the chest, turning the whole ensemble into a mini dirigible that floats into the air. Cactus breaks into a trot down the alley, speaking into a wrist walkie-talkie.
Captain God, the goods are in transfer. They'll be at the rendezvous point in 10 minutes, right when the casino blows. Looking good, man.
Exterior Oasisburg Street. The helmet liberated in love with life, Brock peels at the viewer on a motorcycle, night air whipping back his hair.
We're the best of the best, man. We didn't even have to fake our own deaths this time. Yeah, I'm thinking of taking the act to LA.
The alley next to the casino. Cactus is turning a corner.
Sounds like a plan. Life don't get much better than...
Cactus stops dead, a little freaked out. He is turned into an alley littered with wall-to-wall legion of staring straight-ahead cats. They all simultaneously blink. Cactus gulps. He treads forward slowly, tiptoeing through the feline minefield. The cats are surprisingly stoic, emotionless, and unmoving.
Nice kitties. Nice kitties. That's it. That's it.
Cactus comes to the end of the alleyway, wiping sweat from his face, exhaling a "what the heck was that" laugh. He gives a last look back, shaking his head, and as he turns another corner into another alley, again, he stops dead. Unfolding out before him is a unified legion of familiar Catwomen, representing every shape and demographic. They all stare forward in unsettlingly inner peace. Cactus pathetically quavers.
Nice kitty. Meow.
The Catwomen explode into feline battle cry and blitzkrieg forward into a tearing, scratching, biting mass attack. Roaring with fear and frustration, Cactus bats back the front line and bolts away, shrieking into his wrist communicator.
Are you there, God? It's me, Cactus.
Exterior Oasis Street. Heroically inhaling the air of freedom, an eye-closed Brock victoriously breezes down the road, annoyed by an interruption.
God, can you hear me?
What?
Catwomen! Lots of them!
Come on, Cactus, be a man. The blimp is still on schedule, right?
The whip suddenly coils around Brock's neck, wrenching him off his bike. The disembodied motorcycle sidecar slams into a lamppost. On the open street, Cactus barks into his wrist, barely keeping ahead of the chasing pawned-out army, like a mouse racing to a hole in the wall.
Captain, where did you go? I can't.
Catwomen bite into his Herculean arm and hang there like snapping turtles. Cactus furiously shakes them off and hightails it to a wide-open area in the street. He unlatches a gun from his body armor and frantically loads it up on the run. He swivels around with his weapon. A line of Catwoman archers, including Mom, point bow and arrow stretched to kill right at him. Suddenly, they all tilt upwards and fire. A confused Cactus looks up. In the air, the whooshing wave of arrows ripple into the big black treasure chest blimp, causing it to Hindenburg and drop from the sky. On the ground, it boulders right down upon Wile E. Cactus in a perfect crunching thud. The chest cracks, causing the diamonds and two very dazed guards to avalanche out. Cop carts come to a squeal around the recovered loot. The police chief takes in the situation, noting Cactus's feet poking from the sunken chest like a fallen house upon wicked witch. He looks all around. All he sees is a collapsed tail disappearing into the darkness of an alley. Exterior Oasisburg. Whip strangled around his neck, Brock reaches up to Catwoman and clutches her by the ears, flipping her over his head, slamming her to the ground. He gives her a savage elbow for good measure. She sprints up as he thrusts forward. She swings her whip beneath and behind herself in a tail between her legs motion that stings Brock in the face.
I thought cats were supposed to have 9 lives, not 31. What do you think you're doing?
Winning.
What do you want from me?
Fun kid holiday. Halloween's great because you get to dress up and be whoever you
At this point, a nap. Oh, by the way, I killed your butler and your dog.
My dog?
Brock latches the flailing whip and rips Catwoman to him for a slam across the jaw. He grabs her head with both hands and forces a kiss. With both paws, she claws down at his cheeks. They break off to malevolently pace towards each other, towards and away from each other, waiting for the perfect attack opportunity.
Oh, honey, it's so much better when we do it without the helmet.
I've been thinking. I have been thinking about us. I'm sorry I've been so hard on you these past couple of days. I realize now it's because you're the only woman who ever understood me, and I couldn't handle it. I've never revealed myself to anyone the way I have to you. Let's blow this town together. We'll run a bed and breakfast in Vermont by day, and by night we'll dress up and kill anything that
Pass.
you were right all along. The 2 parts to a person are the reality and the lie. I was making good money as a top architect, but that's not who I am. I'm not an architect.
I know. Warrior. You're very annoying. Now tell me how to defuse the bomb you set.
Catwoman swats out. Brock ducks and registers a sweet kidney punch. Catwoman cringe stumbles towards a backflip with a handstand that comfortably allows her to do a double eye poke with her heels. Brock wails back and cedes forward, more annoyed than angry.
you please stop fighting? Just let those people die so we can get on with our new lives together. Trust me, one day we'll look back on this day and laugh. You got to admit, it's a lot more fun to be the villain.
You might be right, but fun is overrated. I need something real.
Well, then let's agree to disagree. Now, how about a picture for my scrapbook?
Brock sets off the earlier seen absolutely blinding flash from his belt buckle that sends Catwoman into a painful, sightless screech. Brock angrily lays siege to the fighting by radar woman.
Don't you realize there's nothing you can do anyway? 9 minutes and it's all over. The Fun Palace is a tomb. No one can get out. and choke on this furball. All doors and windows are blocked, locked, and electrified. Even the glass around the bomb is rigged.
Even the skylight?
The skylight? Oh, it's too high for anybody to climb out the damn skylight.
What about climbing in?
Brock stops battling to ponder what she's getting at. A black heel slams his wondering face out of frame. Interior casino. The citizens of the casino are crashed on the floor and slumped against pillars, drained of energy and hope. Kelly and Didi hold each other as many others do. Some persistently pathetic victims rush the door in denial, only to get zapped back again. The bomb reads 911, 910, 909. The viewer's viewpoint moves from the bomb out the skylight directly above. Exterior alley night. Catwomen have formed a makeshift salon in the alley, percolating, then pumping adrenaline and potential mood swings.
We did it!
We didn't do anything. If it wasn't for us archery experts.
Oh, honey, what else did you learn in summer camp? I didn't see you in the alley fighting to get him out into the open street. That's where the real Catwomen were.
Catwomen section off into shoving in fighting groups. A deafening cat screech reverberates the brick of the alley. The Catwomen clutch their little ears and turn. Rising upon a turned-over trash can, Catwoman sounds like Spartacus.
Enough. Stop being victims. Stop being victimizers. What makes you women think we have the luxury of fighting each other? We've got work to do, and all you want to do is whine. Everybody wants to grade the paper, but nobody wants to take the test.
What's the matter, Catwoman? Afraid of a little competition?
I wouldn't know. I've never had any.
The Catwoman, ooh, at her badass attitude. Catwoman allows herself to smile.
Okay, simmer down. We don't have a lot of time. Don't pussy out on me now.
Exterior Oasisburg Street. Brock huffs down from an alley. He looks out at the police roping off the demolished, diamond-spewing treasure box. Brock implodes in a multi-megaton rage, then bolts back the other way. Outside the Fun Palace, a crowd builds before the Fun Palace, media, police, frantically worried loved ones. Officers valiantly assail the sparkling doors of the palace and back away in sneering pain. The police chief drops his head and shakes it, and a little girl steps from the defeated crowd and points up.
Look, Mommy, Catwomen!
All, including the viewer, look up. Scaling the face of the majestic casino like a tree in the backyard, the Catwomen heroically climb upwards. Exterior the rooftop. As the military music hits the soundtrack, working a female Dirty Dozen vibe, Catwoman twists onto the roof. She rushes forward to the palace skylight and clings out a plank of glass. The viewer's viewpoint is a complete yo-yo maneuver through the open window, square all the way down to the bomb, reading 201, 2, 159, and all the way back up. A cluster of Catwomen gather around their leader. All women turn to the sound of a loud thud. A mammoth paw swings into the roof, and then the gargantuan Catwoman does a power roll-up. She immediately trudges to the end of the skylight and holds out her hands. She grabs the ankles of the red Catwoman and holds her upside down. One by one, in descending order of size, the Catwoman gave Catwoman a brisk hug and then proceeded to climb down the dangling red Catwoman to be held by the ankles, and so on. With commando precision, a human rope of dangling upside-down, ankle-clutching Catwomen is formed. Interior the casino. Casino workers and patrons rouse themselves from the dead to bulge their eyes at the mysterious and miraculous sight of the forming macrame of feline flesh. Above it is now Catwoman's turn. She gives a nod to the gargantuan Catwoman, whose epic mythic size allows one to suspend disbelief of the dubious physics of the whole endeavor. Catwoman makes her climactic descent. She climbs down the human chain of familiar, once at war, now at peace felines, link by link.
Hang in there, baby. Hang in there. Nice hair. Hang in there, baby.
Whatever happened, Catwoman? Thanks.
You're doing great, sister.
Good luck, Catwoman.
Gee, thanks. Hi, Mom.
Hello, dear.
Oh, Catwoman #1. I don't think I can hold on for another minute. It's all right. Place goes up in 30 seconds.
Catwoman does a final crawl past the high school girl Kitten, who, with all her might, grasps onto Catwoman's heels as Catwoman flips back into the final hanging pose, just within reach of the bomb. Catwoman stares down to the intensely complicated too high-tech explosive device. 31, 30, 29.
Now what?
Catwoman breaks into a cackle that floats through the dead air of the terrified casino visitors and dribbles out the dangling chain of confused Catwomen. Catwoman remains amused as hell.
What am I doing here? I don't know anything about defusing bombs. I don't know anything.
Catwoman is ready to chuckle again. She spins at the frozen-in face fear of Kelly, Didi, the mayor, Frank, and the other fine American families. She swallows. The bomb reads 13, 12, 11. On the rooftop from across from the Fun Palace, with a perfect view of the Fun Palace below, Brock robustly stomps like a child waiting for the ball to drop in Times Square.
10, 9, 8.
In the casino, the Fun Palace patrons lower their heads and close their eyes, preparing for the inevitable. Catwoman stares intently at the bomb. The high school kitten weeps from above, a tear strolling backwards off her face like a raindrop on Selina's mask. Catwoman licks it. 7, 6, 5.
We're all going to die, aren't we?
Yes, but not tonight.
Catwoman unzips her little zipper and untucks from her mini pocket the strange, small, precise gold object Spooky gave her in her death throes. Catwoman reaches out with it in the section of the bomb to an exact shaped opening. She snaps the object into the opening of the bomb. The bomb stops between 1 and 0, digitally displaying half a second. The black metal sheeting covering the windows triumphantly, if not overly logically, slam back up and the waves of electricity on the walls completely evaporate. Everyone loses their mind in a well-deserved delirium. Exterior rooftop. Brock obliviously still rouses up for the fiery finale.
3, 2, 1. Boom! 2 and 1.
Brock spreads his arms out for his view of the casino, cueing the mighty explosion that never comes. Smoldering, he bounds down a fire escape. Outside the casino, the rescued citizens joyously plow for the opening Fun Palace doors. They race into the arms of their loved ones as the crowd goes berserk in relief. The police chief takes off his hat and wipes his sweaty scalp away, and as police chiefs always do in dodging a bullet. In the casino, the high school kitten lets go of Catwoman. She somersaults under the perfect landing on the glass, giving a glance to the stopped bomb.
Thanks, Rachel.
The high school kitten adorably plops into Catwoman's arms. With Cirque du Soleil syncopation, the Catwoman unlatch and swirl down into the giddy human nets. They happily hug as if they are just midwife to Messiah. The mayor, Kelly, Didi, and even Frank swarm with fangs around Catwoman. With the place emptying out, Catwoman and Mom move to the edge of the casino's water fountain to share a moment. Unwinding, Mom undoes her bow and arrow apparatus and sets it down.
I'm so proud of you, Selina. Deep down, I've always been. We've always had a secret kinship.
Stop. It can't just be deep down anymore. I've got no time for unspoken bonds and secret kinships. I just can't do it that way anymore. You and me is something I have to be able to touch every minute of every day.
Mother and daughter pull off their masks and gently kiss. Exterior outside the casino, other tender reunion scenes are going down while outside the casino. The mayor hugs his wild-haired wife. The formerly vacuumed pair of machine gun-toting guards are being interviewed by the media when Brock launches a double punch across their jaws and takes their guns. He fulminates his weapons into the air, sending everyone down.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain. If I'm going down, we're all going down together. Ladies first.
Brock opens the Cult of Good chest plate on his uniform like a mini fridge. He removes a stored missile like a last beer. He activates the missile with his hand. It flares away from him towards the casino. The decidedly phallic weapon whooshes smoothly and deliberately, not at crazy fast speed. Interior of the casino. Chin upon her mother's shoulder, maskless Selina's eyes widen as the sliding doors of the casino open to allow the rocket coming in forward.
Mom, get out!
Selina pushes her mom away and bolts from the fountain. The missile winds right with her. On the run, Selina kicks out of her left heel against a pillar, snapping it off, then does so with the right heel on the next passing pillar. Out of the heel, Selina uses her extra speed to bound up the case and staircase. The dawdling missile keeps right with her.
What is with this thing?
Casino mezzanine. Catwoman hits the top of the staircase and pivots to the side, diving into the carpet. The missile breezes past her, then comes to a purposeful stop. It turns around.
How does it know? Oh.
Light bulb buzzing on, Selina rips off her claw glove. The stone on the ring he has given her is beeping on and off a light blue light, just like the tip of the harassing missile. Again, Selina tries to wrench off the evil trinket, then tries biting the damned thing off her finger. Nothing is working. Outside the casino,
Brock shoves exiting out Mom to the ground. She trembles in worry, giving searching, seeming glances at the casino. Brock continues to impatiently but omnipotently pace around the cowering on the ground crowd.
Die, please just die already.
Selina slaloms through a series of pillars, trying to throw off the goofy projectile, but it weaves along with her. Hitting the wall, she slams the down button of an elevator. It opens, and she charges in. The missile whirs right at her. The elevator door is taking its sweet time closing. In a typical annoyed at the elevator sigh, Selina bangs the door closed button. Giving up, Selina hastens back out of the elevator. The missile sizzles closer and closer as the doors begin to close. Rising to the challenge, Selina gyrates back into the elevator. Running up the back wall, she backflips over the incoming weapon and out between the closing doors, trapping the little varmint inside.
Ha!
Selina gallops to the mezzanine railing and bounds off into the air. She floats to a perfect feline landing upon the edge of the fountain, knocking off Mom's bow and arrow combo. The sound of a pinging elevator kills her glee. With the casual air of a businessman leaving for the day, the bomb putters out of the opening door. Seeing Selina, it whooshes forward, Selina frantically dipping her hand into the fountain, trying to lubricate off her Jinx jewelry. Exterior outside the casino. The casino doors ache open in slow motion. Glowering with invincible warrior charisma, Selina Catwoman stride forth, raising up Mom's bow and arrow. She fires.
God is dead.
The arrow thunks benignly into Brock's superhero breastplate. He looks up with a, "Is that the best you can do?" laugh. The missile POV lightnings behind Catwoman and whooshes through her legs. The height of subtlety, the overpowering reverse angle from the missile has it erupting from Selina's haunches right at the viewer. With sudden panic, Brock focuses down. The beeping blue ring tracking device has been put snugly around the arrow Selina shot. Brock is at peace.
Wow, by a girl.
Brock detonates in a vivid as PG-13 allows burst. Everyone wobbles up to rise their fist and cheer. The mayor bellows out.
Men and women of Oasisburg, we have a new hero. Thy name is Catwoman. Catwoman?
The mayor grandly swings his arms towards the casino, but Catwoman is nowhere to be seen. The town square. As if stood up on a date, the mayor stands before and unveiling a Catwoman statue, looking at his watch, dangling the key to the city at his side. The media and other city council members crowd around the podium, just also look at their marches and sigh. Selina's voice purrs up in a vaguely Doc Seuss-esque coda.
I did not want the fame or the glory or the city's keys.
Exterior of the night sky. In a deft reworking of the bat signal, a spotlight shaped like the head of a cat slams into the night sky. Interior, Selina's bedroom, night. The viewer's viewpoint inhales from this image through the window into the bathroom, where Selina is vegging out in a oh-so-relaxing bubble bath. She lifts a pair of cucumbers from her eyes to take in the shining cat beacon. She shakes her head and rolls her eyes with a "you gotta be kidding, I'm taking my bath" chuckle.
They said, "But you must protect our fair city." I said, "Oh, please."
Exterior Oasisburg Alley. Two thieves in cat burglar black slam down a golf cart full of merchandise and give each other high fives. Catwoman prances forth. Using the shoulders of Thief 1 as leverage, she vaults up and kicks Thief 2 to the ground. Landing, she headbutts Thief 1. As she drops, she does a dizzy step back, rubs her head, and runs off.
I still liked going out at night. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted the town to sing a new kind of song.
Exterior Dark Oasisburg Street. A purse snatcher bolts by a female victim, ripping away her backpack. He then sheepishly walks back into frame, apologetically holding out the backpack, shrugging his hands up in a "I don't know what I was thinking" pose. Outside the formerly not nice garage, the earlier viewed rip-off mechanic is hunkered down next to the earlier viewed rip-off female customer. He is talking her through the repairing of her own motorcycle. Grease gently touched upon both of their faces, they take a break. Exhaling, they clink beer bottles into a weary throat. Interior, outside department store dressing room. The working-class husband, wearing a cryptic bandage on his neck, lounges like Scarface before a dressing room door, and his working-class wife comes out in to model a simple black dress. He applauds.
I wanted them to grow up, get wise, and stop waiting for a hero. If they stopped being fools on their own, the truth would become crystal clearo.
Interior high school classroom day. The sexist high school teacher has a faded but still highly visible claw mark on his face. With a concerned eye contact, he delineates information to the goggled, beaker-boiling trio of the 3 high school ex-kittens. Interior hospital day. A team of strong-willed male and female doctors walk and talk down a hallway in spirited harmony, in oddly black lab coats. The viewer pauses before the passing door. Interior hospital day. Inside, lying on her back in a black straitjacket and a padded black cell, Dr. Penelope Snuggle is drawing a caricature of Cat's head with a white magic marker between her toes.
We stopped being lame and started being suave. It was really quite simple. Meanness and smugness and bossiness we popped like a pimple.
Exterior Main Street. Astonishingly, but somehow still casually dressed in black, Selina swings around a corner to slink down a very different Main Street. Like her, everyone has discarded their dorky visors, and now they got the coolest sunglasses even money can't buy. Also gone are the golf carts, as everywhere, young and elderly, now politely thunder both sides of the street in sleek, shiny black motorcycles. Doesn't stop there. Everyone, male and female included, have been redecked out from their eyesore funwear and into ludicrously suave clothing of the subdued Calvin Klein variety, mostly, but not necessarily black. Women pat each other on the street, nodding in a knowing half smile. With a sly, respectful body language, the men interact with the women, not with a goddess-worshipping wimpiness, but with a subtle, just happy to be in your presence grace.
A sense of calm and cool we do not lack. 100 degrees, and we still wear black.
Interior airport. Obnoxious as all get out, a generic tourist tribes scramble down an airport tunnel, already squabbling with a "what a good time they better have." One t-shirt reads, "Where's my fun?" They freeze. Ahead of them, a panorama of disarmingly dark-dressed male and female airline workers are leaning into each other in intimate conversation. As if hit by the same vampire, they all simultaneously turn and enigmatically smile at the tourists. Spooked in deadpan tableau, the tourists drop their bags and flee away back down the tunnel. A sweating Frank bustles into frame to join them in their escape into the city.
The old kind of tourist went screaming away.
Interior same airport, different day. A new set of darkly dressed families exuding the attitude of intelligence and danger come down to the airport tunnel, breaking into matching smiles with a sultry airport staff.
And a new kind of tourist has come to play.
Exterior back on Main Street. Unfazed by the periodically puttering past motorcycles, Selina strolls to the middle of the street, taking in the world's coolest city as if she had a secret, unhaughty queen. A giddy teenage couple make out at the same park bench the mayor and his unrepressed, harried wife had been making out on. Selina passes an eloquently modulated wedding being led out. A sweet, young ex-Catbride is the bride who wears black. Pinkies interlock, she drifts forward to a perfect for her groom. Even the priest was wearing amazing black eyeliner. Bride and groom swing over the motorcycle and breeze away, saluting Selina. The motorcycle rounds a corner where the Catbride's grungy ex-boyfriend and yuppie ex-boyfriend sit at the same cafe table. They smile and salute her and then melt into a kiss, having finally found someone they're comfortable with. Selina gently eases through a small field trip of children who are in too cool for school eyewear, being led before the spot where Brock blew up. It is still ever smoking and flaming like the tomb of an unknown soldier. The plaque reads, "Defy authority."
Deep, deep, deep into your own darkness you must drill. Only then will each day be a sick, giddy thrill.
Passing a sign reading Selina's Fun Palace, Selina languorously treks towards the darkened and de-neoned, majestic as ever casino. Eerie yet wonderful music briefly takes over Selina's narration. Interior Selina's Fun Palace day. Selina glides through the sliding doors. She removes her sunglasses and hangs them on a hook with hundreds of other pairs on hooks. A nearby plaque reads, "Only fools wear sunglasses indoors, but then you knew that." Inhaling some bliss, Selina leans back against the wall next to a thermometer reading 73 degrees. She takes in the new surroundings of the Fun Palace. The lights are lower as well as the tacky factor. A softened Esmeralda, wearing a flute across her neck, tugs up the instrument and coolly blows. Didi and Kelly in new uniforms that are sexy but artfully subdued, mosey along with male workers, also in sexy but subdued uniforms, all smile in intense discussion. Selina's POV moves through the casino where everyone gambles with Bondi and Cool. By the roulette wheel, two gangly twins drape their arms around two overweight ex-Catwomen. Multi-everything couples walk up behind them in sensuous syncopation. The earlier noticed female exec and an executive male stride from different directions up to the door of the club, formerly the Gentlemen's Club. Both pull out gold key cards at pretty much the same time, the executive male with a refined cock of his head, demurs to the female executive. She opens the door and the viewers follow them in. Interior of the club. Men and women are mixed together before the strange in a mellow and enticing melange. Selina's mom parades to the stage in another dazzling cat costume, going in a wild but not too crazy, just wild enough dance number. Selina's narration creeps back. A desert outside of city, night. The Catwoman outfit lies neatly folded in a dugout desert hole. The clump of dirt thumps over it. Incongruously still in their sultry ensemble, Selina is revealed to be outside of the open gate to the city, shoveling in desert dirt. Selina wrist wipes the brow before shovel patting down the dirt to fill up the hole. She sighs happily.
We had put the oasis back into Berg. I never knew fun could be so much fun. Happily ever after we lived. Happily ever after. All except one.
Ah, well, the real Catwoman. Hope you don't think I'm afraid of you. The viewer's viewpoint pans to see DJ Oink has been buried up to his neck in desert sand. Selina saunters to stand over him. As she continues to rant, she unscrews a bottle labeled NIP and proceeds to Niagara the goo all over his face. Oh, sure, tell a couple jokes, make a gross comment or two, and suddenly I'm a sacrificial lamb for every jerk in the world. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, what is that? Sunblock?
Whatever you say, babe.
Selina places a microphone down by Oink's disembodied face. She swivels off to glide back towards the gate. She wears an absurdly long scarf that billows in the desert breeze. Hey, look, come back here. This is officially not funny anymore. Hey, you listen to me when I speak to you, woman. Hey! Hey! With a loud, rumbling purr, dozens of diverse cats pour past Selina towards their delightfully obvious destination. Interior restaurant. A restaurant of romantic couples look up from each other's eyes and beam into Oink's screams on the intercom. In a station wagon, a working-class family packed in the station wagon listened to the shouts on the radio, smiling away. In the casino, the staff of the Fun Palace encircle a bar-top radio, grinning madly at the DJ's wails. At the desert, back to the viewer, Selina continues her glorious strut back to the gates of the city. Beautiful, wonderful cats keep flowing past her. The viewer's viewpoint violently jerks back to thunder across the desert floor away from the oncoming cats, Oinks wailing from the back head, and the perhaps impolite confrontation about to occur. The viewer then arcs grandly into the air for one last awesome, all-encompassing look at the paradise of Oasisburg, heavenly rays of sun beaming downwards. Into this perfect image as the story's exclamation point, the figure of Adonis, limply hanging by his cape from his low-on fuel, pathetically chugging up and down across the sky jetpack.
Selina Kyle versus Catwoman. Who will win? Who will lose? Come to Oasisburg, the place where you don't have to choose.
And that is Catwoman. A very odd script, to say the least. I see why it wasn't made, but I also kind of wish it was, because it could have been fun. But thank you all so much for joining us on this one, and we will see you at the next one.